laws. Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 7,500 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed node systems of any cryptocurrency. Zencash is a platform for cryptocurrency and communications built by voluntarists for voluntarists, with the ideas of voluntary interaction being written into the white paper no less than half a dozen times. Learn more at zencash.com. Reuters reports the U.S. government Supreme Court battle with Microsoft over whether technology companies can be forced to hand over data stored overseas could be nearing its end after federal prosecutors asked for the case to be dismissed. President Trump on March 22nd signed a provision into law making it clear that the U.S. judges can issue warrants for such data while giving companies an avenue to object if the request conflicts with foreign law. In a 16-page court filing on Friday that requested the dismissal, the U.S. Department of Justice said this case is now moot, citing the passage of the new legislation. The Supreme Court on February 22nd heard arguments in the case, which had been one of the most closely watched of the High Court's current term. Some justices urged Congress to pass a law to resolve the matter. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Jared Gilchrist was surfing when he was attacked by a shark that took his leg. Thanks for being with us, big guy.
Thanks, this is tight.
What was going through your mind when you first realized that you were there with a shark all alone in open water?
I felt like a total badass. It bit into my leg and started shaking it back and forth, and at that point I just felt, yes, this is sweet.
I can't imagine what it would have been like to see the teeth sinking into your leg like.
It was sick. At one point I just saw my leg just floating there in the water. It was awesome.
Okay, we're joined now via satellite by Dr. Brian Caddy. What condition was Jared's leg in when you first saw him?
It was in pretty rough shape. The shark had scissored through the muscle, and it was all just like hanging off the bone. It was nuts.
Yeah, I kept touching it. It was slimy as hell.
Yeah, totally. It was insane.
Well, doctor, how do you deal with something like this?
Well, you know, you're never fully prepared for an injury this freaking cool. You know, we just tried to stop the blood loss, and we took a bunch of photos because it's hysterical to freak out the nurses with gnarly shit like this.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live. You can dial toll-free, and you can bring up whatever is on your mind. Just take control of the airwaves at 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've also got Skype. So you can Skype on in here at Skype username LRN.FM. Plus, we've got the Discord on-air call-in line room where you can call in, and it sounds really great, like even better generally, I would say, than even Skype, which normally sounds better than phones. So if you want to get on the Discord, go to discord.lrn.fm. And Discord's more than just a way to call into the show. It's actually mostly a way for you to chat with other Free Talk Live listeners and some of the hosts of the program before, during, and after the show. And it's free. discord.lrn.fm. All right, so you heard about the various different challenges on the internet. You've probably heard about the Tide Pod challenge.
Yeah. So a challenge is what? Somebody gets on YouTube and says, hey, I'm going to do something dumb.
Usually it has to do with
something dumb too.
Yeah, usually
I recall like a couple of years ago they were getting in the shower, dousing themselves with alcohol and setting themselves on fire. Is that right?
I don't know if there was ever a name for that, but there's at least one video of someone doing that.
Oh, yeah. That's
to another person.
More than one, yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize that was a challenge. I just thought that
one
was
person
one
doing it to another person is really just an assault more than a challenge.
Well, I think he wanted
a crime.
No, it's not a crime when you tell somebody to do it.
That's not true.
No?
Ian is not a lawyer, and this is not
I'm not a lawyer.
Advice.
You did go to law school. So wait, if I tell somebody to hurt me, if there's video evidence of me giving consent to be harmed by another person, that's a crime by the other person?
So it varies by state. Some states will allow consent to battery as long as it's not battery with a weapon. Mm-hmm. Some states will allow consent to battery as long as it does not cause any serious harm, whatever that means.
Now, is that the same thing as the states where you can have like a mutual combat, or is that similar but slightly
different?
Mutual
combat is its own thing.
Okay.
But there's probably a state somewhere where you can just consent to any kind of battery you want. But yeah, no.
How many states do allow consent to battery in some cases.
In some cases, most if not all of them, but it's going to be battery. But
how far
battery
can you
is
go?
pretty broadly defined.
So how far can you go? Like, what's the most, in the states that allow versus prohibit? Like, what's the range?
Well, there was this situation where, and I'm not sure if she was arrested, but there was a situation where a young lady, a YouTube couple, decided that they were going to get some views.
Oh, the shooting guy.
And he got
she killed him though.
She convinced him to, he convinced her to shoot him with, I guess he had a bulletproof vest on?
No,
I thought it was a phone book. Wasn't it
was a phone book.
Okay. I don't know what they were testing out, but whatever it is, didn't work.
Nope. Bullet went through.
Yeah.
Killed him.
Yeah. Did it go all the way through, or did it just like the impact of it going part of the way through killed him?
I'm gonna presume it went through.
I didn't read the autopsy report, but I mean,
you should.
He was dead.
If you're gonna try a trick like that, you should shoot a few phone books.
Yeah. See what you're saying?
Yeah.
So you're saying that because he consented did not matter in the case of that being
I think it matters. I think that you're gonna
legally though it didn't matter.
Well, it does matter.
Okay.
Remember, you've got a trial by jury here.
Right.
So a woman decides requested strongly, cajoled into shooting her boyfriend on video for YouTube views for his channel. Yeah, they're not going to be.
It's going to matter. She might get a responsive verdict, and she might not get life if that's allowed in whatever state that was.
But she got hit with a murder charge,
it's
not
illegal.
Manslaughter?
She got charged with murder, as far as I know, which would be the legally appropriate offense.
But it wouldn't have been. It wasn't premeditated, right? So it wasn't first degree murder.
That's not a thing.
No,
that's on TV.
Really? What's the difference between the degrees in murder? I thought the first degree was premeditated.
It depends on where you are.
So is it not true, though, that there's in some places first degree is a premeditated crime versus heat of the moment was a second degree? That's not true anywhere?
I think where that came from is
Mark, you went to jail for murder. Can you comment here?
I'm sorry. I'm reading I'm trying to find the article that you're asking previous questions about these people. My understanding of first degree murder is that it needs to be premeditated.
So
she's saying that's not true.
I think the confusion there is
she needs to make a point.
Some of the negligent homicide laws versus some of the murder laws, you have to intend, and the way it's written does, because you have to keep in mind these things are not written in English. The way it's written is you have to intend to do it before you do it, even for a moment. So if you want to get like super technical angels dancing on pins, I guess that counts as premeditated, but that is not what anyone means when they walk around using the word premeditated. You do not have to like plan it out. You have to like point a gun at someone and intend to shoot them when you pull the trigger.
So it can be in the moment, basically, or just before the moment that you premeditated a thing.
Felony murder could just be choosing to go to rob a convenience store with a gun in your pocket. That's going to be considered premeditated murder because... I mean, what the hell were you thinking? What were you thinking if you brought a gun to rob a liquor store? If it's not that I am willing to shoot somebody over, I don't know, a couple $100 out of the cash register, right? I got the story here.
This is about the phone book shooting?
Yeah, it looks like Mona Lisa Perez of Halstead, Minnesota, shot her boyfriend through a book he was holding on his chest for
her
a
name
stunt.
is Mona Lisa?
Mona Lisa, that's it. For a stunt the couple intended to upload to YouTube. Ms. Perez said that they did not believe the bullet would make it through the 1.5-inch tome. Not good enough, ladies and gentlemen.
Phone books aren't what they used to be.
I don't know that it's a phone book. It just says book is what they're saying over and over again. But she looks very, very young. She pled guilty to second-degree manslaughter.
Manslaughter, yeah, I wouldn't think that
she's 20 years old, and the deal includes requires her to serve 180 days in jail and 10 years on probation. Now, I don't know how many days she had served up to that point, but she'll get time served.
She got off pretty easy on that then.
Yeah, 180 days in jail. It could be a lot worse.
For killing your boyfriend.
Yeah, they didn't want to.
She didn't kill her boyfriend. Her boyfriend requested him to shoot her.
Okay.
Well, she still killed him. I don't think they wanted to take that to a jury. I almost suspect the guy might have been trying to commit suicide.
I don't.
Interesting.
They could have just both been really stupid. But
that's what it is. I mean,
maybe I just really want to imbue intelligence onto people where there is
Stop
none.
projecting. Well, let's talk more about stupid things. Here is the USA Today story about the new challenge, apparently, or, there's a zillion of these things. There's only, a few of them that actually make it into mainstream media coverage. But,
I mean, they get more coverage in the mainstream than they do on the actual internet where they allegedly originate.
You think so?
Yes.
I mean, some of these things get spread pretty far and wide. I mean, remember the old ice bucket challenge or whatever? That thing was everywhere.
That's not a suicidal challenge. That was a weird attention for charity challenge.
Well, that's how they spun it into a thing for charity ultimately, but it still is.
Okay, but pouring a bucket of ice water over your head is not going to kill you.
Yeah. Viral videos posted on social media show teenagers snorting condoms as part of a so-called condom snorting challenge. In the videos, teens put an unwrapped condom. Now, I mean, when I first saw the headline, I wasn't thinking it would be in its wrapper, but apparently that's part of the challenge. Unwrapped condom, up one of their nostrils, and inhale until the condom comes out of their mouth. Like other viral challenges, the condom snorting challenge has been around for years.
It takes care of itself from a societal level.
But recently reemerged on social media in San Antonio. Stefan Enriquez, who teaches drug and alcohol prevention to parents, has also started to teach parents about dangerous online trends like the condom snorting challenge.
In Dungeons and Dragons.
Quote, because these days our teens are doing everything for likes, views, and subscribers. As graphic as it is, we have to show parents because teens are going online looking for challenges and recreating them, unquote.
Yeah, but YouTube is knocking down views for people that use cuss words. Right?
Are they? Okay. Yeah, I heard something about family.
I'd so much rather have my kid hearing some cuss words than watching
a condom challenge.
Stupid contemporaries try to kill themselves by inhaling latex balloons.
See, I'm not sure that all these people just aren't suicidal. They're in really horrible parts of their life, and they're like, what if I could do this? Like, it almost seems like one of those, like, Russian roulette. Well, you can't kill yourself, but if I die, I don't know. Like, this is just too
Have you
obnoxious.
Done some of these ridiculous challenges? Did you regret them after the fact? You want to talk about it? We're here for you. The toll-free number, 855-450-FREE, or maybe you're a parent who's had some of your children go through this. It's Free Talk Live.
She's such a beautiful little puppy. I mean, we walk around the block, and neighbors always say, her hair is so beautiful.
Healthy and shiny and glossy. DINOVITE.com.
Fatty acids, omega-3s, and omega-6s are great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
I would really recommend people starting their puppies on Dynavite before they get into what I would call the misery index. Bad skin, bad ears, bad breath.
Because if they're getting all their vitamins, micronutrients, microbials from the beginning, then you're not going to run into the problems associated with the allergies, grass, pollen, dust, dirt, fleas, ticks, you name it, and the itching and shedding down the road.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
Dynavite for life.
This is Ed Lukasevic.
And Cindy Lukasevic.
Inviting you and your pets to Dynavite.
859-428-1000. DINOVITE.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 7,500 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed node systems of any cryptocurrency. Zencash is a platform for cryptocurrency and communications built by voluntarists for voluntarists, with the ideas of voluntary interaction being written into the white paper no less than half a dozen times. Learn more at zencash.com. That's zencash.com. Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper FPP News at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Did you know that Free Aid is a mutual aid, educational, and networking organization? At Free Aid, we support volunteers who provide first aid. We do outreach to the public about health and safety, and we bring together medically skilled freedom lovers. Free Aid is made possible by your generous support. Donors can receive great gifts like first aid kits, t-shirts, silver dime cards, and hoodies. The Free Aid Silver Dime Card Project is sponsored in part by Roberts & Roberts Brokerage, Freedom's Phoenix, and Don't Tread on Meme. Visit fr33aid.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up anything that you want right here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We're talking about the latest so-called challenge on the internet, or at least the latest one to get mainstream media attention, because there are a lot of challenges on the internet. This one is called the Condom Challenge. You're welcome to share your thoughts with us here. With you tonight, you've got Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
And definitely want to let you know about Zencash. It is one of the newer cryptocurrencies, and there's almost 1,600 cryptocurrencies in the world right now. So how do you decide which ones that you should get involved in? Which ones should you be investing in? Well, Zencash is definitely one you want to take a look at, especially if you care about freedom, if you like, money, economics, privacy, because Zencash actually has built into it zero-knowledge anonymity. It is a system that allows privacy in blockchain transactions, and that's awesome. It's got very good technology there behind the scenes over at Zencash.com. And they've also built in voluntarism right into the white paper of the currency. You can go and read it for yourself at Zencash.com. There's more than 8,000 secure nodes, meaning it's one of the most secure networks of any cryptocurrency out there. And from what I understand, they've just launched their they've had the secure nodes, but they now have this, what they think they're calling super nodes.
Oh, really? I'm not familiar with that.
Which is not, I guess it's not quite the same as a master node. I'm not exactly sure what the super node does because it's pretty brand new, and I honestly haven't looked into it yet. But
I was talking to their marketing person today, and we were just price speculating, as crypto people tend to do. So here you have a person who's, down right there on the ground floor. They know what's going on with the Zencash, and basically, if there's another bull run on crypto, and I firmly believe that there will. I mean, I'm like, yep, I believe that. There are people out there that don't, but I'm one of them that certainly does. If there's a bull run on crypto, Zencash, in my opinion, is well placed at this moment. And look, it's less than when I got it initially. There's no doubt.
No kidding.
Yeah, as a dollar amount, that it's less than when I got it. But it doesn't bother me because
I don't even pay attention to it. I'm like, I want some of that. I'm gonna hold on to it.
Against Bitcoin, I'm sure it's going to do quite well comparatively. So
well, you can't really be sure of anything in the world of cryptocurrency, but that's your opinion.
I've been abundantly clear. This is all speculation and my opinion on what's going to happen and those sorts of things. Further, I went so far today as we were renewing the Zencash schedule. Had to get that done. I went so far as to
welcome back Zencash.
Yeah,
they never went away.
They never went away.
Glad to have you.
They were happy to be around, but we were talking about pricing, and everybody in the crypto sphere is feeling a little poor right now. And I'm and I'm like, you know what?
My God, the prices are where they were in October.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Or November.
For whatever the reason, that's how people feel right now.
Sure.
I feel that I tend to feel the same way, but I'm confident enough on Zencash that I took it at a value above what it currently is. So, it's like $18 today. I said, we'll just call Zencash $25 a piece, and then we'll pay the ad schedule that way. And they were like, yeah, let's do that. So they saw the value, and I did too, and let's go.
Good. So go to Zencash.com. You can learn more about that there. We're talking about online things at the moment, specifically the Condom Challenge, which is, and you know what? We should have pulled one of these videos up during the break. I didn't even think about it. I was distracted doing other things because I have actually yet to watch one of these condom challenges. Although I never watched one of the Tide Pod challenges either. It's just, what do you need to see there?
With the Tide Pod, I could totally see somebody who's been raised on candy being bright colors wanting to chomp into that. I get it. I understand why they would want to do it.
Maybe if they weren't told what it is.
Well, I mean, it's a bad idea.
These are adults, though. These
are they?
Yes.
Okay.
They're not 4. They're 17.
I see what you're saying.
16, no, they're adults.
Yes, you should know better than to swallow large amounts of concentrated dish detergent or whatever it is.
I don't know that you're necessarily supposed to
Wait, Tide's
eat it.
clothing, right? Tide's not dish. They've got
it's detergent.
Detergent.
I don't know that people are eating the Tide Pods.
That was the whole point.
I don't know that. No, I don't think you're supposed to consume it. I think you're supposed to bite into it.
You're going to have to check that one for me because I'm pretty sure the whole idea was you're supposed to eat the Tide Pod.
Okay, just putting laundry detergent in your mouth is a bad idea. All right.
Right? Toll-free number tonight, 855-450-FREE like freedom. Well, apparently now drug and alcohol prevention expert, so-called, Stephen Enriquez from San Antonio is saying he's teaching parents not just about how to educate their kids about drugs and alcohol prevention, but also challenges that they need to be aware of. It's not the first time teens have done questionable things, says USA Today, in the pursuit of internet fame. In 2012, more than 50,000 YouTube clips showed young people swallow a tablespoon of dry cinnamon with no water, gag, and spew out a cloud of dust as part of the Cinnamon Challenge. I remember seeing that one.
The Cinnamon Challenge sounds legit. Like, hey, we did this with friends. Bet you won't take a bite out of this jalapeno. This fresh jalapeno. Don't do that, kids. Well, you get the hiccups. I mean, you'll survive. Water doesn't do anything. Supposedly hard candy or milk will, I don't know, get your mind off your burning mouth or something.
Likewise, just before the new year, a spate of teenage poisonings were reported in the U.S. as a result of an internet-based dare encouraging youths to post video of themselves biting or eating Tide Pods. The stunt, dubbed the Tide Pod Challenge, has resulted in poison centers reporting 142 incidents in January. It also resulted in YouTube taking down, I believe, some of those videos. Like, it was that serious of a problem with teenagers that, corporate America responded by trying to, pull the... Didn't Tide stop manufacturing the Tide Pod or something like that?
No, I was just in Walmart yesterday, and I noticed that there were Tide Pods. Right?
Were they still brightly colored?
In an end cap. They do have some white ones. I didn't, you know what? I didn't look firmly. To me, if you can handle portioning your own laundry detergent, adulthood may not be for you.
Well...
I mean, I just don't get it. Look, I don't even wash clothes that often.
Right.
I know not to glug, 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 glug. Like, what is the purpose of these things? Why do we need this extra plastic?
Yeah, I don't get it either. While teens may think the condom snorting challenge goes without consequence, it can be dangerous. Bruce Lee, who's back as a Forbes contributor now and associate professor of international health at the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. To his credit, he does go by Bruce Y. Lee.
I probe that Bruce Y. Lee beats your butt over all this.
So let's see. Lee writes that with the exception of doctor-prescribed nasal sprays, anything else that goes up your nose can damage the sensitive inner lining of your nose, cause an allergic reaction, or result in an infection. He notes the condom could also get stuck in the nasal cavity or the throat and cause someone to choke. So there
By
you
choke,
have it.
they mean die, kids.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yes, very well. With
the first thing
a
I
piece
thought
of latex blocking your air passage, that's going to work out real well.
Yeah, the first thing I thought of when I heard of this is like sucking the condom, like unrolling the condom.
That's what I figured. I didn't think it'd be
and
packaged.
sort of sucking it from your nose into your mouth, like a thing of spaghetti, maybe, and sort of running it through the nasal passage into the mouth or whatever.
You ever
and
seen
I thought that was a terrible idea. You know what? These challenges seem to be terrible ideas. Go ahead and try the cinnamon one. That's fine.
How about the performer's trick where they tap the nail right into the middle of their nose, like straight on into their skull? Man, that one's pretty fun to watch. 855. Don't try that at home though, kids. 855 450 free like freedom.
Hear that? That's the sound of a house being trashed while a gang of thieves ransack the place. And what they don't steal will be destroyed.
This year, resolve not to be the next victim of a break-in. Go to faketv.com and discover a device that creates the illusion someone inside is watching TV, even when you're miles away. Security is a mindset, and Fake TV should be part of your security solution. Be vigilant, but not fearful. faketv.com.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com. The three most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share one episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeen.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeen.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. Dial toll free. Join us right here. The number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. You can Skype in and join us at Skype username LRN.FM. You do need to send a friend request first on Skype. We'll approve it. And once you're approved, you'll be good to go to call us there or call in on the Discord on-air call-in line room over at discord.lrn.fm. Bitcoin.com is where you can go to learn the basics about cryptocurrency. Might be a good time to get into it, given that the price of a Bitcoin right now is hovering at about $7,000 per Bitcoin. It's been as high as 19,000 US, some would say even 20,000 within the last few months. So this could be, some might consider this a sale on the price of Bitcoin. Good time to start learning about it. Go to bitcoin.com to get the basics. And when you're ready to learn more about kind of the happenings in the world of Bitcoin, go to the bitcoin.com news site over at news.bitcoin.com. They've got the latest headlines every single day there from around the globe. News.bitcoin.com. You want to get in the Bitcoin mining pool? You can do that too. Either the Bitcoin Core or Bitcoin Cash. It's your choice. Or do them both over at pool.bitcoin.com. So they got all kind of cool resources there for you. Whether you want to talk about the challenges on the internet, that's up to you. But we've also got other things on deck here tonight. Coming up, Mark, you've got a little bit of good news for people that have so-called free-range kids, the parents who actually want to allow their children to, experience some level of independence, like by going to the park alone or walking home from school alone and, kind of stepping out of their comfort zones without having some hovering helicopter parent over them at all times, because it's required by law in some states now, like California and New York, where if you leave your kids alone for 5 seconds, some busybody calls the cops, you go to jail. And then, of course, have your kids taken from you and given to an abusive foster household, possibly. So there's good news. We're going to get into that coming up. Also, Melanie, you brought a video in here tonight from your home state of Louisiana. Can you introduce this video, or should I just jump? I think we should. It deserves some introduction, because I'm just going to jump right into the meat of this video, where a police officer was caught saying something very revealing.
Okay, so they're in the parking lot of a restaurant or something.
Looks like a gas station.
Yeah, so apparently there's 2 people passed out in a truck, which isn't illegal, especially if they're not if they're not the ones driving. And the cops, there's 3 or 4 cops kind of standing around this car with 1 or 2 what looks like civilians.
No, wait a minute. Hold on. Before you go on, you said it's not illegal to be passed out in a truck, but isn't it true that in some places police will arrest you for DUI if you are passed out behind the wheel of a truck after having drank?
Wheel,
or even in a passenger
drunk,
seat, or even in a passenger seat.
So if you probably get arrested for it. But
I can tell you my cousin most assuredly had this happen to him at least one time.
In the passenger seat?
No, he was in the driver's seat, but the keys were not in the ignition.
Yeah, even if they're on the floor, they'll some states.
So
being
drunk and being asleep are 2 different things. Though.
Okay.
And
they can't tell right now, right? Like they just know they've got 2 people asleep in a car.
Yes.
If the windows are up, you don't know if they're drunk.
Even if the windows are down, I don't know that they're drunk if they're asleep on the car and someone else is behind the wheel.
Yeah. Well, you would smell it on their breath or whatever.
Oh, I see. You're just like leaning in and sniffing the
cops would do that.
The
cops would do that for sure.
I see. I was just wondering how you'd know if people were drunk if they were asleep.
Oh, you'd wake them up, and then if they blew their drunky old breath on you, you'd probably have a clue at that point.
I mean, it's not really illegal to be drunk inside of a car as a passenger either. I mean, the cops will always tell you.
I've done it before, I can tell you that.
Yeah, the cops will always tell you get a ride, not don't go to the bar in the first place.
Maybe it's just because I've heard so many stories about drunks being arrested without keys in the ignition and things like that. I just don't believe that
in the driver's seat.
Yeah,
there was 2 people in the car passed out.
But if there's one person in the car sitting in the passenger seat because they were drunk and they wanted to sleep it off, and they're the ones with the keys, wouldn't that also possibly get them arrested?
It shouldn't.
Okay.
But asking it what will get someone arrested is kind of a non-question almost.
Well, the charge
you
is
get arrested for anything.
Right.
But
all right, so let's get back to this story here. So it's in Baton Rouge.
Yes.
And so the cops are standing around
and discussing, what they need to do with this vehicle and the people in it. And one of the cops is like, well, we can just search the car. And they're discussing whether or not they have probable cause.
All right, now I've got that here. So let me just play this audio because the woman who is behind the body camera, which apparently this footage, according to the news station releasing it here, and thanks to WBRZ for doing the censoring, so we didn't have to do it because the cops here, the lady cop is, well, she's not talking like a lady. Let's just say that. Let's go to the audio here from WBRZ2 in Baton Rouge.
And at least 2 other officers.
I want to get her out of the truck and let's search this truck.
I mean, do you have PC?
Yeah, they're both passed out in the...
That's not enough. That's not enough.
So that's another officer telling her, do you have PC, probable cause to do that? She's, oh, yeah, they're effing passed out. Well, that's not enough, lady. Robin.
Someone could be
so if we find something, we say it was in plain view.
I'd be more
Who gives a
I'm just saying.
We're writing this report.
Yes, she is.
That is how it works. That is so honest, isn't it, Melanie?
I'll bet you conversations are had like that in department.
Yeah, I mean,
after
nothing's
department all
new
over
except
America.
the cameras. I mean,
that's right. That's what. Is there more? Because that's that seems to be the most damaging.
And by the way, I'm not shocked by this at all. This is human behavior. This is how people behave when, doing their jobs. All sorts of different jobs.
Bend
this
the rules,
happens
break
to
the
be
rules.
a person who is a police officer who's confident in her mind that this is a pair of drunks in the car that are, dangerous, and there's bonuses and benefits to her catching drunks.
And if they find something, they'll pretend like they, had probable cause. They'll pretend like it was in plain view. If they don't find anything, they don't find anything. They could always plant something if they wanted to, but she doesn't suggest that, at least in this
well, they
video.
don't usually drive around with empty beer bottles. They usually drive around with guns, throwaway guns.
Well, they've driven around with drugs, too. I mean, cops have been known to do that. So this is, what I said, a very honest moment here. And as you pointed out, it's captured on video for all to see. It was thanks to somebody for releasing this video. According to WBRZ, this footage involves a juvenile at some point, and so they say it never would have been released publicly because juvenile means that all of a sudden there's no public access. There's no right to know. There's no freedom of information that can work with that stuff. And so somebody, presumably on the inside of the department, was reviewing this footage and was able to actually leak it out, which is amazing. Who gives an S? We're writing this report, she says. And what else do you really need to know about police work?
That's what it comes down to
if
there.
They want to get you. They will trump up the charge. They will falsify the reports. They will falsify evidence.
The other guy there makes me pretty happy, right? Like
he's calling her out.
Yeah, he's just saying, don't do this. But I doubt he's going to arrest her.
Nope, probably not.
Well, you have more faith in people than I do because someone's body cam is on. It looks like it's hers. Just because they're busting her this time does not mean they're doing it for some higher sense of justice.
No.
They might just want to get her out of the way.
They might not like her.
And they know that for the past 200 times they've searched a car, everybody has been searching a car like this, and she's all of a sudden like, why are y'all presenting like we can't search cars anymore? What are you talking about? Well, because the camera's on this time, and we don't like you.
If you want to jump in here, share your thoughts. The number's 855-450, free like freedom. It's interesting how many times police have been caught over the last decade saying very revealing things like this. Things that reveal that they do many of the things they've been accused of doing on so many cases, but there's never really the evidence to prove it. It reminds me of the time when they had Pete Eyre from copblock.org. They'd confiscated his camera. They didn't realize it was still recording when they brought it back into the police cruiser, and they started talking about falsifying evidence against Pete. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE like freedom. It's not just some random chance, oh, this never happens, it just so happened to get caught. No, this happens a lot, which is why it's been caught as many times as it has. There's more coming up.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite.
Everything we tried failed except the Dynavite.
Pick up 2 bottles of Super Mega Fish Oil.
Get the 3rd bottle free. Packed with omega-3, DHA, and EPA fatty acids.
Super Mega is great for your dog's immune system, healthy skin, and soft, shiny fur.
Dogs love it. Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Cryptocurrencies are successful because of good technology. The liberty-loving voluntarists who founded Zencash in 2017 took the best tech, like zero-knowledge anonymity and decentralized autonomous organizations, and are creating a secure platform for money, messages, and media that can be sent to anyone, anywhere in the world. Zencash is a cryptocurrency dedicated to peace, anonymity, and decentralization. Find out more at zencash.com. That's zencash.com.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $9.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees, ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Ovaltine. Give your kids the nutrition they need to be their best. Visit us at ovaltineusa.com. Telling your child about healthy food choices is important, but showing her what to eat goes a lot further. Have her help create the grocery list, then bring her to the store with you. Picking out healthy foods together helps kids get in the habit of thinking about what they're eating every day. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll-free to bring up whatever you want. Our number here is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. You can get interactive in a variety of different ways on our website. And one of those ways is to become a Free Talk Live amplifier to give you access to special AMP perks and privileges. AMP stands for Advertise, Market, and Promote. It's a program that allows you to support what we do here for $5 a month. You know, the price of a fancy cup of coffee or a couple gallons of gas. And that is money that we can use to put Free Talk Live out there. Put it, kind of buy advertisements, for instance, within the talk radio industry to promote Free Talk Live to talk radio stations. We've got over 180 stations right now, which is awesome. It's a record for us. And it's taken, a decade and a half to get there, but we're here. And we could have 200, we can have 300. It's possible. We just need to do the marketing required to do that. And you can help us with that over at amp.freetalklive.com and get access to some of those cool AMP perks, like the AMP-only Facebook group, the AMP-only Discord chats. You get a special AMP badge if you're on our forum. And more. Go to amp.freetalklive.com. You can learn more about that there and get signed up with credit card, with PayPal, with Bitcoin Core over at amp.freetalklive.com. All right, so I was able to check into more of this video from, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, WBRZ2, the ABC affiliate down there, releasing some outrageous footage of a police officer standing around in a group with some other officers, as well as some firemen, in a parking lot of what appears to be a racetrack gas station there in Baton Rouge. And this particular officer, Ms. Robin Ducote, she actually says on video, and this was leaked video, so somebody within the department actually put this out there because apparently it involves a juvenile at one point, and so that therefore this would have been video that would not have been released publicly by the police under any circumstances. But in this case, I don't see any juveniles in this particular clip of this video.
They might be in the car.
They might be, but I see a bunch of cops here. So we're going to continue. Actually, I'm going to play back just so people who are just tuning in can hear. It's a relatively short clip where she basically admits to falsifying police reports and essentially suggests that this is something that they do on a regular basis when they're trying to get some kind of evidence against the people who are passed out in a nearby truck.
I mean, do you have PC?
Yeah, they're both passed out in the...
That's not enough.
She's saying she wants to search the truck, and the cop asks if she's got probable cause. She says, yeah, they're both effing passed out.
That's not enough, Rob. Someone could be a...
So if we find something, we say it was in plain view.
I'd be more
Who gives a
I'm just saying.
We're writing this report.
Huh?
The officer referring to PC was looking for probable cause to get into a vehicle. In United States criminal law, officers must have it before any search can take place unless something is in plain view. That's when Ducote said no matter what, it was their report.
At the end of the day, we win. So
no, I understand.
I don't care.
Paramedic, firefighter. We took that video to defense lawyer Jared Ambo. He fights for the rights of defendants daily. After Ambo watched the video with us, he was left in a state of utter shock.
Can't think that this kind of person, a person willing to make these kinds of decisions, should have a badge and be on the streets.
I don't know where they
Louisiana.
find all these defense attorneys to pretend to be surprised. Like, have you never read any of your case files? Like, why are you surprised?
Well, he's probably not surprised. This is likely a clip from a longer interview. You know, they sat down with him probably for a half an hour and asked him all kinds of questions, and they took this one brief clip and they gave him that in the shot. So he's probably not at all surprised, but he is, making the statement that he's shocked that someone like this would be allowed to continue in the police.
He shouldn't be. He's a defense attorney in Louisiana. Why is it like there's nothing to be shocked about?
You think he's feigning that he's shocked?
Either he's feigning or he's really, really negligent and has never read a single case file that has ever come across his desk. I would bet on the first one, but I don't know.
I do have to chime in here on this, and this occurs in Louisiana, which is this unusual place in America where, criminal stuff happens worse more often and all these other things. So, previously I said this happens in every department, and I think it happens in a lot of departments and maybe even most departments, but I'll bet this happens a lot more often in Louisiana.
dealing with our citizens on a regular basis.
In 2014, this was Robin Ducote. We searched our archives, and ironically, we interviewed her after graduating the Baton Rouge Police Academy.
I don't like feeling like people are being wronged. You know, I like to stand up for those that can't stand up for themselves and defend those that can't defend themselves. That's just always just been me since I was little.
Then she...
Wow.
She's a do-gooder.
Yeah, she's just so sweet.
Well, that's what to her mind, that's what she's doing here, is she's getting the bad people off the street.
People sleeping in their truck.
Maybe we didn't catch them drunk driving, but they do it.
And so there's multiple people sleeping in the truck. So presumably, at least one of them is not in the driver's seat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so there's not even an allegation of you're drunk behind the wheel, whether you have the keys or not. Like, it's not illegal to be asleep in a truck.
Right. I mean, worst case was they took a nap at the rest stop. I mean, they're at the racetrack. You know, if you're falling asleep on the road or whatever, you got your family with you and nobody's able to drive because they're all just tired. Is it illegal to catch some Z's for a half hour or something like that at the racetrack? I don't know. I mean, who knows how long
not
they were
helping.
there.
There's no doubt. Yeah. Not helping.
She told us she was passionate about her job, but in 4 short years, something apparently changed.
Or maybe not.
At least one officer filmed in the video was deeply troubled by Ducote's actions and challenged her, saying there was no probable cause to search the vehicle Ducote wanted searched.
I'm just trying to cover our...
Oh, the report will.
She's right about that.
So did something change with Officer Ducote? Did she become in 4 years a jaded, corrupt, angry officer who's willing to do whatever it takes to collar somebody sleeping in a truck?
I'm assuming that she did not move to Baton Rouge. That she did not apply to the police department the day she moved to Baton Rouge. So she was in Baton Rouge long enough to know how the real world is. Mm-hmm. No, she did not all of a sudden decide at some point in there, I think I'll be an evil cop now.
Or is there one Officer Ducote who is the officer for in front of the camera? Because again, in the interview you heard, well, she knew she was being interviewed. And in this case, it's the Officer Ducote who thought she's untouchable and not being interviewed for whatever reason, didn't think about the camera that was on her chest, or thought she was so untouchable that she would just be able to just utter whatever words she wanted to.
And that guy in the red shirt that looks like a racetrack uniform to me, she has
that's
no
fireman.
problem.
That's a fireman.
But I think that this is a public place during the day. There's other people who can see and hear this. She doesn't have a problem with anybody knowing this. It's just this legal fiction of when we go to court, cops tell the truth kind of thing, and that's all she really cares. Like, there's no facade of cops are the good guys. It's not. That's not what.
They still have that facade. It just doesn't work on.
They do
you.
here.
No, they have. You think there aren't people in Baton Rouge who believe the police are good guys?
There probably are. There's also probably people in Baton Rouge that believe that all kinds of ridiculous things.
Right.
Yeah, I think that less and less is police testimony becoming just sort of believed out of hand.
You think so?
I think less and less. I mean, that we're finding that the internet's changing these things, and
videos like this sure aren't helping the police's credibility. Here we go with a little more.
And that's the time
laughing.
The other officer walked off and said he would ask if they could search the car.
Yeah, just ask her. She said,
I wouldn't even. Because then she gonna say no.
The shame of this, really, in my opinion, is that she undermines the credibility of good officers and good people who are protecting the public and serving the community and doing the right thing. And now we have to question how many of those are doing this.
Indeed, and unfortunately there's no real way to know how many officers are more like Ms. Ducote as compared to the mythical good cop that we've all been told actually exists, and we grew up, believing this mythology of, and I'm not saying there aren't good cops out there, but Melanie will say that there aren't any good cops out there. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
There are no good cops. If you join a gang and say, I will be your hitman for this sum of money, you are not a good person.
So the other police officer is correct that all she has to do in this circumstance is, go up, bang on the car, bang, 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 bang. Hey, all right, everybody in there, wake up. I'm going to have to ask you to step out of the car. I'm going to have to ask you to let me do a search here. Everybody out. Everybody out. Come on.
Yeah.
And they'd be out. All right, you stand over there. You standing over there is consent for me to search this vehicle. And you stand right over there. Thank you very much. And you just toss the vehicle. That's it. completely legal.
That's the kind of tricky crap
That
they
is
do.
the fiction that is consent in this situation, too.
Yeah, if anyone else defined consent like the cops do, you get charged with rape.
Toll-free
and
number,
convicted.
855-450-FREE like freedom. You can join us here. We got hour number 2 on the way. You can take control of the airwaves. 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live. Whether it's corrupt cops or the Petro. That's coming up on Free Talk Live.
I tried other brands, but I came back to my Sunshine.
For the best hot or cold pain relief, get the best. Get a Sunny Bay heating pad.
Sometimes life can be a pain in the neck or back or shoulder.
And the best relief for that pain is a Sunny Bay heating pad. Did you know that the American College of Physicians said that one of the best ways to treat muscle pain is heat therapy? Sunny Bay heating pads are handmade with high quality, can be used at home or at work, and have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy.
Why take another pill?
Many people use our Sunny Bay heating pads alone and got rid of the neck pain.
Long distance travel or long hours in front of a computer can take its toll on your body.
See why our homegrown small business at sunny-bay.com has tried to help people just like you. Get your Sunny Bay heating pads at sunny-bay.com. That's sunny-bay.com or call 253-678-1361 for hot and cold therapy. sunny-bay.com.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, April 2nd, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.61 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,335 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $17, and the average price of Bitcoin is $7,012. Antiwar.com reports Israel's violent crackdown on Land Day protests in the Gaza Strip left at least 15 people dead and large numbers of people wounded. There are a lot of expressions of concern, but one thing there won't be is an investigation by anyone. A resolution by the UN Security Council sought to call for such an inquiry and also issue a statement of support for the rights of peaceful protest. The U.S., however, quickly vetoed the bill. This is unsurprising, as the U.S. generally vetoes anything that has to do anything with Israel. U.S. officials so far have refused to comment because clearly vetoing a call to respect human rights and not kill peaceful protesters is something of an embarrassment. There is more than a little disquiet within Israel as well because of the perceived international fallout of the incident. The far-right government, however, went into the protest with every intention of killing protesters, and Defense Minister Avigdor Lieberman has ruled out Israel ever having any internal inquiries on the killings. So there's no possibility of either an international inquiry under UN auspices or a domestic inquiry from within Israel. While non-governmental organizations are likely to offer critical accounts of what happened, this is just the latest in a long line of instances of Israel killing Arabs with impunity. And while it's not necessarily surprising, it could be a very bad thing, not just for international standing, but for popular sentiment within Palestine. The killings drew thousands to the funerals of the slain, and while Israel threatens to kill more next time, the casual use of lethal force against demonstrators has a constant threat of blowback against the Israeli government. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports California Attorney General Xavier Becerra on Friday issued guidelines for public schools to protect undocumented immigrants on campus from immigration and custom enforcement agents. The guide provides recommendations for how to respond to information requests regarding immigration status, a warrant or court order regarding immigration enforcement, immigration agents requesting access to school grounds, hate crimes related to national origin, and the detention of students' family members. Becerra said in a statement, every student, regardless of immigration status, is entitled to feel safe and secure at school. According to his office, there are approximately 250,000 undocumented immigrant students in California's K-12 school system, and 750,000 students have an undocumented parent. Becerra's guidelines for public schools came one day after he sent guidelines to law enforcement agents across the state on how to follow the state's so-called sanctuary laws included in SB 56, which prohibits local law enforcement from cooperating with federal immigration officials on some matters. Becerra's guidelines come at a time when the state sanctuary laws have been facing resistance from the Trump administration and the Justice Department, leading to a federal lawsuit challenging the law's constitutionality, as well as an Orange County lawmaker and law enforcement official who have disavowed the laws. Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 7,500 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed node systems of any cryptocurrency. Zencash is a platform for cryptocurrency and communications built by voluntarists for voluntarists, with the ideas of voluntary interaction being written into the white paper no less than half a dozen times. Learn more at zencash.com. Reuters reports the U.S. government's Supreme Court battle with Microsoft over whether technology companies can be forced to hand over data stored overseas could be nearing its end after federal prosecutors asked for the case to be dismissed. President Trump on March 22nd signed a provision into law making it clear that the U.S. judges can issue warrants for such data while giving companies an avenue to object if the request conflicts with foreign law. In a 16-page court filing on Friday that requested the dismissal, the U.S. Department of Justice said this case is now moot, citing the passage of the new legislation. The Supreme Court on February 22nd heard arguments in the case, which had been one of the most closely watched of the High Court's current term. Some justices urged Congress to pass a law to resolve the matter. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
A job applicant totally nails an interview with the person who will make his life a living hell for the next 5 years. And adjusting several sliders on a recording studio's mixing console pays off big time. This is the Onion Week in Review. This week, a study published by researchers at Johns Hopkins University revealed a direct correlation between breastfeeding and knowing exactly what's best for other people at all times. Overwhelming evidence indicated that the moment mothers begin breastfeeding, they develop a highly honed sense of what is wrong with others' approach to life, and were able to loudly enumerate those faults with total confidence in their accuracy. Researchers noted that the practice greatly boosted a young mother's immunity to the viewpoints of others. And in this week's Tech Report, a startup is very casual about its dress code and benefits. In other news, the Secretary of Interior says knocking down the Rocky Mountains could really open up the nation. And a woman is not going to let her husband of 60 years drag her into death at the same time.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live, and you can join us right here. All you have to do is dial in toll-free to take control of the airwaves with us at 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. We do have Skype at Skype username LRN.FM. Here in the studio with you tonight as we kick off the second hour of the show, it's Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
We're going to go to your phone calls and thoughts about what you want. And then coming up, Mark, you're going to give us a little bit of good news. Finally, for the parents that actually want to have what they call free-range kids, which used to just be kids.
Yeah.
Like,
this used to be what we called kids.
Right. You can just go outside, go to the park, you can go down the street, no problem, without your parents around.
Now we need a name for what we used to call childhood.
Right. So Utah apparently is working on something, and I don't know what the legal status of it is, but the legislature, Mark, you'll tell us more about it, has something that may be offering some protection to the parents that actually want to allow their kids to learn about life on their own. We'll go to that story here in moments, but first to your calls and thoughts. We got Matthew. He's on the line in Louisiana, watching us online over at freetalklive.com. Matthew, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, y'all are talking about this case in Baton Rouge. Another Baton Rouge cop seems to be, shall we say, overzealous. And I'm thinking to myself, the same news media that's reporting on this is also the same one that scares the hell out of the citizens to convince them that they need policemen literally in their house to protect them from bad people or even themselves.
Really?
And I'm like,
well, I mean, the media basically does that.
The media is pro-cop,
scaring you all the time. Boo!
Yeah, no, I understand that. But they didn't have to report on this, right? They did. There was a Baton Rouge TV station, Channel 2 there, and I forget their call letters, BRP or BRZ or something like that, that reported on this, and it's
great news.
Well, it's terrible news, but it's
now
news.
we'll need cops to watch the cops. I mean, we're asking policemen, and frankly, I don't think there should be a police force per se, but that's an argument for another day, because originally the founders thought that we should be the policemen, which is why they didn't think that there should be all that many
For
laws.
listeners just tuning in, I just want to recap here. The issue at hand is a Baton Rouge police officer admits on camera in a leaked video coming out of her police body cam, she admits, basically suggests that they falsify a report in order to try to gather evidence against a couple who were passed out in a truck, or sleeping in a truck. And it's outrageous what it is that she admits to. None of us are really surprised by it, but the fact is there are people who are going to be watching that TV station. And yeah, certainly a lot of television reporting is pro-cop, but this is good reporting. This is reporting that reveals the audio that is damning audio. And they interviewed an attorney who says, yeah, this is outrageous. This lady should not be on the police. Later on, they tried to get it. This is the part I didn't play on the air. They tried to get a quote from the police department. They refused to talk about it. So they're not discussing the case publicly.
Yeah, it's best not for them to discuss it.
So it doesn't look good in any aspect for the police. And if they were really always trying to tote water for the police, then they wouldn't have run with this report. So, I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's not entirely true.
No, he's not saying that they're pro-cop. He said that they're pro-fear. And initially, that was his.
Well, yeah,
his
I thought. I'm
thesis.
sorry, I thought you said they were pro-cop.
Yeah, precisely. The whole reason we have the police in the first place is because in the 1840s or 1830s, the journalists in Boston started clamoring that we needed to professionalize the enforcement of laws. And that either Boston or New York City, I don't know which one, but I think it was Boston, then New York, had the first professional police force.
The first professional police force was in 1850 in London.
Okay, well, I was talking about in the United States.
Okay.
And, yeah, I could be wrong on the dates, but...
You're close.
It was just a clamor by the news media of the time that we needed a professional police force, which policemen they're not here to protect us. They're here to enforce the laws that the politicians pass in response to people who are scared to death by the news media.
And the Supreme Court will agree with you in several cases that the police are not here to protect us.
Yeah. Yeah, the way you would protect, if the cops were doing the right thing in this particular case with the people passed out in the truck, would be to say, knock on the window and say, hey, the racetrack here has asked if you can, move along. You've been here all night or whatever, so you're definitely rested. You can hit back on the road now. Have a nice day.
Well, I mean, you probably... Do you think they... if they do talk to them and they smell alcohol, perhaps it would be time to see whether or not... It's not a good idea to put them on the road.
No, I get what you're saying there, and I don't know if they were drunk, Mark. I don't know if there was any evidence that they were drunk.
Not necessarily.
I'm saying the nice thing to do would have been to just go ahead and let that person, move along.
Nice police officers don't put drunk people on the road.
I didn't say they were drunk, and I wasn't suggesting that they were drunk.
Okay.
Anyway,
But,
Matthew,
well,
go ahead.
obviously, if it smelled alcohol. Obviously, if it smelled alcohol, that would be a different story. But
instead, she's
I
looking
don't
for a
want
reason
to
to
rely on
arrest him.
the I smell alcohol though, because that's something that really can't be proven later. And since I don't trust these people, I wouldn't really consider that evidence.
Well, your skepticism is well deserved. They seem to be earning it every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotta go. Ciao.
Hey, thanks, Matthew. I appreciate hearing from you. Let's go to Mortified Penguin. He is on Skype, calling from Virginia. You're on Free Talk Live.
Hey guys, I just want to talk about a voluntary society, and what I've noticed is, I mean, it's kind of pretty obvious that, obviously anarchists and libertarians, voluntarists, you're very hyper individualistic people for the most part, and I don't really look at things from a hyper individualistic perspective. So, I mean, what really intrigues me about a lot of what you say, Mark, is you're interested in looking at what kind of governance structures do exist and decentralized institutions would exist, because we live in a complex society, and we will continue to live in a complex society, and everybody's not going to just be on their own island. I mean, on their own log cabin, separated from everybody else on their private roads and private land. There's going to be a requirement for a lot of cooperation, but on a voluntary basis. So there'll be so many analogs to the institutions that exist today, but on a voluntary basis, in my opinion, in a free market society.
Yeah, it's really difficult to know what's going to happen in a voluntary society because basically you're not allowed to do it. And if you try, they're probably going to come lock you up. And ultimately, I mean, you can buy enough land and start your own little city or society or whatever, but the state, whatever state you're in, is still going to claim property taxes on it. I suppose you could go ahead and say something to the effect of, we're a religious commune, and
Hasn't worked. Doesn't work.
And attempt, well, it does. It works for some. Monasteries are essentially their own private societies. If there's a murder or something there and the police are called, they're probably going to check it out. But I mean, if the only thing you have, if the only thing the state is doing to you is investigating murders on your property, you're probably pretty free. So, there's some thoughts.
Penguin?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I was just thinking, like, a lot of people say that anarchy means no rule or no rulers. But, I mean, you have to still submit to giving up your individual freedom for, you might work for a company, you might be part of a cooperative, who builds the roads? Well, you're not going to pay a different toll for.
We're losing your connection, Mortified Penguin. I appreciate
some kind of easy.
Yeah, I appreciate hearing from you. I'm going to have to drop the line there. It's getting it's
too jumbled,
unintelligible at that point. But so what he's talking about is the voluntary society, the idea of people, creating a society and having services like, clearing the roads or fixing the roads. The roads seem to be the big issue that people bring up.
It's such a radical notion that basically we can have the benefits of the service organization that we know as the state, the government, that we can have the benefits of that organization without that organization being on a monopoly and demanding from you
without the violence
that you have the services. That if there was some competition in these different services areas, that we'd get better service. Monopolies are known for high prices and bad service, right?
That's right. And
I mean,
poor
it's
product.
not really a radical notion.
There's more coming up here in moments. 855 450 free. Yeah, the voluntarism idea essentially just means choice in that matter. More coming up. Free Talk Live.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
I'm Ryan Burke. I'm the head cider maker at Angry Orchard, and we're in Brittany, France. I wanted to make Angry Orchard Rosé cider out of my love for rosé wine. We came here and found these red-fleshed apples. It's a really rare fruit. The apple brings a right, refreshing, natural taste to the cider and a deep, nice pink rosé hue. Our rosé is a little bit less sweet. It's got a really nice balance for any occasion. It's a really refreshing drink.
Angry Orchard Cider Company, Walden, New York. Drink responsibly.
This is Daryl W. Perry, host of Free Talk Live. This November, I'll be running in the world's biggest and most popular marathon, the New York City Marathon, and I've accepted a spot on Team Innocence Project because I'm a passionate supporter of their work. Since 1989, 353 people in the United States have been exonerated by DNA testing, including 38 who pled guilty to crimes they did not commit, and 20 of whom served time on death row. The Innocence Project provided direct representation or critical assistance in 180 of these cases. With your help, the Innocence Project can help even more people who have been wrongly convicted. As part of Team Innocence Project, I'm raising awareness about wrongful convictions and raising funds to help free the innocent. I've already paid the race registration fees. However, to secure my spot on Team Innocence Project in the New York City Marathon, I need to raise $3,500 by November 1st. You can support the Innocence Project and help me secure my race entry by going to run.freetalklive.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
It is Free Talk Live. We invite you to join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And we've got Skype as well. Skype username is LRN.FM. Melanie must be knee-deep in tax paperwork right now. She's a professional tax preparer, accountant, bookkeeper. She can help your business or you personally file taxes and get back as much as you possibly can from the evil state. She's a real anarchist. If there was an anarchist certification, you'd go for it. I don't know who could do something like that, but it could happen.
We could have
Melanie.
a decentralized one. It's fine.
Yeah, and so if you want a real anarchist who hates the state helping you with your taxes, is it too late for this year, Melanie, or can people, the procrastinators, get in touch with you at this late hour?
So if you have a partnership or S Corp, those are due already. But if you have your personal tax returns, I mean, worst case scenario, I tell you, you brought me 30,000 day trading transactions, and we're gonna have to file an extension. So yeah, I mean.
And I mean, obviously, people who are, employing you, they're paying their taxes, right? Like, you're not just going to say, you're not going to just burn their receipts and say, you don't do pay taxes to these people.
Well, if you have receipts, there's kind of a paper trail of it already, so that's the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the goal is to not get robbed, but also stay out of jail. So yeah, and then most people, it's not going to be a problem. We're going to get in on time. If you have something, really large, it might be an extension. But.
So right now, even though we're less than 2 weeks away from the tax deadline, a regular person, not too late to get in touch with you for
most
this
people
year.
only take an hour or two.
Okay, all right.
She helped my family to save on our taxes, so it's great.
All right, that's great news.
There's my endorsement.
Go to tax.freetalklive.com if you would like to get in touch with Melanie directly and have her take a look at your situation and give you a price or quote. Tax.freetalklive.com. It'll take you right to her website. As we continue here, we can talk about the Petro. I promised this last week. We never got around to it, so I think we should do a Petro update because it's been several weeks, I think, since our last one. But, Mark, you had a story out of Utah that we've been teasing here tonight about free-range kids and some sort of protection that the state is ostensibly going to be putting in place, perhaps, to protect parents who actually want to allow their children to grow up a little bit, not have a helicopter parent floating about everywhere they go, trying to protect them from everything, and of course being very careful to not offend their neighbors, because apparently in a lot of states like New York and California, if you leave your kids out at the park for 2 seconds without accompaniment, the busybodies nearby will ring up the police and you'll end up with charges, parents.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, but when I was a kid, I mean, parents just didn't ask these questions. Out you went. There's your bicycle.
Well, they weren't getting arrested. It's
Pedal
when
down
people
the street.
started calling the cops on people. I was on a forum the other day, and people were asking, should I call the cops? So somebody's letting their 5-year-old play in the yard. I'm like,
you got to be kidding.
No.
What kind of forum?
A wedding forum.
Okay. I was going to say, it doesn't sound like the kind of forum you would normally hang out in.
Well, I don't only hang out on anarchist sites. There's not that very many of them.
Right. No, I understand that. But, I mean, you're such a principled anarchist to the point where you describe people who aren't an anarchist as normies. So, you tend
get a word for them.
You tend to be frustrated by those people, so it surprises me whenever I find out that you're actually
So sometimes
amongst them.
you have to do things that frustrate you. I guess I don't have to be on that forum,
but you want to ask about
I can't
weddings.
only talk to the same 5 people. Like, that doesn't work. Sometimes you want to. Sometimes you want to just get a baseline of like, what are people doing? Like, because most people aren't sitting around in the basement talking about, proportionality at 3:00 in the morning.
And most of those people aren't getting married. So if you want to ask people about, weddings, then you have to go to where the normal wedding goers go to, right?
Yeah.
Or in populations that just have women.
Right. That's what I was going to say. The libertarian movement or the anarchist movement or whatever you want to call it, the freedom movement, tends to be mostly male. It tends to be a sausage party at pretty much every event I've ever been to. And that's starting to change in some areas. It's starting to shift a little bit, but it's still solidly male in every single, whatever the club happens to be, whatever group we're talking about.
I wonder if anybody's ever been sort of tricked by that term sausage party. Oh, party with sausages. That's great. Going on here from fee.org. Carrie McDonald, for parents in Utah, it's now legal for their children. I'm so used to saying that. For their children to walk or bike to and from school.
Okay, so this passed.
Without accompaniment of adult.
All right.
They can also let their kids play outside unsupervised and will be allowed to stay at home unattended.
Wow.
These newfound freedoms are the result of the free-range parenting bill unanimously passed by the Utah legislature and recently signed into law by the Utah governor.
It's sad because now they're having to create legislation to protect what was just the normal way of doing things for so long. It's that's bad.
Jefferson has a quote that says it's like normal for the state to grow and for freedom to wane.
Yep.
And that's what's happened with the rearing of kids. I had the level of freedom that I did as a kid, which meant that I could get on my bicycle without my grandmother or mother knowing where I was headed off to, and just head
go.
off, me and my friend, and we would go someplace. Now,
The only way you'd be able to get in touch with them is to find a payphone, and with a quarter in your pocket or 10 cents or whatever it might have been at the time.
In my tennis shoe, I had Rouge.
With a little pocket on the side.
Yeah, that was the thing back then. And now we had rules as to where we were allowed to go. But we stayed within those confines, and that was that. But I remember, I've had conversations with people who are the generation older than me who have kids my age, and they're like, yeah, you guys didn't know anything about freedom. We'd go out on our horses on Friday. We'd leave on Friday afternoon, and we'd come back on Sunday evening.
At the same age as you.
Yeah, that's the idea. They take their horses and they just go for a couple of days, and sometimes in the summer even longer than that. So, I guess it makes sense. That truism was stated by Jefferson long ago, and I think it's going to continue to be true. Now we do need laws to inform police officers who were raised as Similac kids, raised as mommy holding their hand when they crossed the street until they were 14 years old. These police officers, they're raised in the same societies we are. Today, it seems strange to me, the idea of my son doing what I did at my age.
Does it?
It does. He doesn't seem to have any interest in it. But, I literally try to kick him out of the house, and he doesn't want to go.
He doesn't get on a tablet.
Yeah, well, he can't do that either. But he can, he can play with his Legos, or he can do some, schoolwork, or he can draw, or he can do a variety of things. If he wants to stay in, he can. Freedom doesn't mean you've got to get your butt outside.
No, and if my parents told me to do something like that, I would have rebelled against it.
Yeah.
So.
I sometimes I'll take him out and we'll throw the frisbee or one of these devices that out there that's supposed to go a little farther than a regular ball. But
there's a device that's supposed to go farther than a regular ball.
We've got a Nerf football thing that's got like a tail on the end, and you throw it and it whistles and it goes far.
Neat. Technology. 855 450 free, which is of course really funny because now the tech is there to where you can know where your kids are with like tracking devices on their phone. So anyway, more coming up. Free Talk Live.
Face it, today's electric power grid is more vulnerable than ever. From natural disasters to EMP attacks and hacking, the grid could be crippled for days or even decades in the most dire scenarios. Visit quantumharvest.net to see our built-to-last EMP-protected solar power systems. While millions suffer, you'll have vital power for water pumps, refrigeration, and sanitation. Now that's peace of mind. EMP-protected solar power systems for every need and budget. See our full range at quantumharvest.net.
Fully cooked, ready-to-eat bacon. I'm talking thick, meaty, center-cut presidential bacon. Savory and delicious. I buy some, I use some, I store some. Awesome. No refrigeration needed with a 10-year shelf life. NASA-packed technology. Bacon. Fully cooked, fully hydrated, ready to eat right from the packed bacon. Or warm and served. Life-saving, ready-to-eat bacon. 10-year shelf life bacon. Ships free at fullycookedbacon.com. Fullycookedbacon.com.
A new trend in offices across the country, more and more people are switching to fetal position desks so that they can curl up in a ball on the floor while they work. Aaron Vaughn has a story.
The human body isn't meant to sit at a desk for 6 or 7 hours. The natural position, especially in the workplace, is to shut down completely, return to a womb-like state, and rock back and forth to soothe yourself.
Fetal position desks, which are even popping up in offices like Google and Facebook, come in a variety of shapes and sizes. Some have adjustable height so you can cower underneath them, while more expensive options include a warm, pulsating blanket for workers to wrap themselves in to feel calm. But many people are making their own.
I've rigged this up so I can type comfortably and my arms won't get tired. Plus, it's got speakers so I can listen to a comforting voice saying shh over and over again.
I've tried a fetal position desk myself, and I can say it's a great way to get through the f***ing day.
Thanks, Aaron. I hate my job.
This is the Onion News Network.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You can dial toll-free here to bring up whatever you want. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Joining you tonight, it's Ian.
Melanie.
And Mark.
We're talking about the protection of free-range kids, of the parents of free-range kids in Utah, where a law has apparently been passed now to enshrine the rights of parents to allow their kids to, walk home from school if they want to, or leave them in the park by themselves. So those are a couple of the things that this particular legislation addresses that, according to the story from, I don't remember where it was, but from FEE, the Foundation for Economic Education,
FEE.org,
has been passed in Utah. Now, of course, I'm curious to know, is Utah the first state to do this? I don't know if they answer that question. Is it the first state, and will other states follow suit?
Yes, it's the first state, because really, I think that police really don't have a lot of good guidance on this. This isn't the sort of thing that generally ends up in court. This is the sort of thing where you're basically, laws are enforced by the enforcers or whatever it is. And there may have been one instance in California that I can think of where a father made a son walk home from school or something. And, that was a problem. I can't remember the ages or what specificity was, what went on in it. But I picked a kid up who was late for school and took him to school. I had to go drop some pork bellies off to be smoked. And I'm going, and there's this kid walking along the side of the road. He's looks like high school age or something. I pulled over. He hopped up in the car, and I said, "What's the deal?" He said, go off to the school here. I'm not going to tell you the name of it, but, and I took him to this. It was a bit out of my way. I just went ahead and took him because he was, whatever, the young minds and education and all that stuff. So I got him there as fast as I could.
The toll-free number here tonight, 855-450-FREE. One of the ladies that kind of started the movement for free-range kids, she started the blog by that same name, Lenore Skenazy. We actually had her on the show a few years back. She is celebrating the 10th year anniversary this week, as of yesterday, apparently, April 1st, of her article, Why I Let My 9-Year-Old Ride the Subway Alone. It was a decade ago.
He's 19 now.
Yeah, that he made it. Made it all the way to 19 after riding the subway home by himself. Didn't get molested, didn't get kidnapped, didn't get murdered.
They called her the worst mother
of the
in
year.
America.
Yeah.
And then it went to the world because, what is America if not the whole world? Going on with this article here, what kind of society are we in that we need laws to protect parents who raise their kids the way most of us were raised? State officials and lawmakers told the Washington Post that authorities in Utah were not in the business of arresting parents who allowed their children to roam freely. But lawmakers felt compelled to pass the legislation after Child Protective Service in other states opened criminal cases against parents who did. We likely walked to school on our own, played outside in our neighborhoods without adults watching, and stayed at home from time to time without our parents while we were away. We survived and maybe even became more resilient. Increasingly, these parenting practices are considered suspect and even criminalized. The high-profile 2015 case of the Miatev family in Maryland I wouldn't know which case this was because I've seen so many of these. It brought national attention to the issue when the parents were indicted by Child Protective Services for allowing their children to walk home together from a park without an adult. They are subsequently cleared of any wrongdoing, but the incident revealed just how much has changed since we were all kids.
Now, I know you never hear about stories like this in New Hampshire. I suspect that New Hampshire would be one of those places to follow suit in Utah's case. Like if somebody put forward similar legislation, it would probably pass.
I don't know that I would trust that. Things are different here where we are and the communities that we want talk to versus what goes on in
New Hampshire's a pretty independent place, Mark. I don't
trust those geriatric politicians in Concord to not watch the news and not be petrified that every kid that walks home has been molested by aliens or whatever.
Okay. I mean, I understand. You're certainly free to your opinion. I spent a lot more time in Concord than you do.
That you do.
So I'm just going to say that from my seeing of what's going on out there, I mean, you've got in New Hampshire, just to give you an example, a recent example of this, they're actually considering banning DUI checkpoints. And when I say they're actually considering, I mean the House already passed it. So now the Senate is looking at that question. Now, it may stop at the governor's, it may pass the Senate, it may stop dead at the governor's office because he's going to toe the line of the police. But ultimately, the fact that could even pass the House, I think, gives you some kind of idea that New Hampshire is not to be lumped in with the rest of the states.
But those are two kind of pretty unrelated issues.
No. His concern was the geriatrics being scared by the mainstream media reports on things like this. There's all kinds of scary reports about drunks on the roads, and there's all kinds of propaganda about how we need the police to have all the according to the Mothers Against Drunk Driving head, who was there to testify against this bill, and I got to rebut what she said, which was a lot of fun. Also, Chris Wade, our Friday night co-host, he was there too, so both of us came after that lady. You can check out that video right now over at freekeen.com. It's up. The full hour-long hearing for that bill is there in front of the Senate committee.
Did you testify for drunk libertarians for freedom?
No, I was a co-chairman of the New Hampshire Liberty Party when I was testifying. But in that case, that's a good example of a scary issue, right? The police are going to get up there and say, we need to catch these drunk drivers. We need every tool in our belt. This is a tool that we can use. And that's
but the police didn't really testify on this.
They did, actually. Yeah. There was the state police, but there weren't a lot of cops that came up. It was just that one. And even their testimony, they have to admit when questioned that the effectiveness of the DUI checkpoints is not particularly high as compared to roving police officers, like cops actually looking for evidence while they're driving of
careless drivers.
Yeah,
somebody swerving all kinds like this maybe is easier to see than just you standing on the bridge where you can't see any of the streets.
Yeah, probably. And pulling over every third car and asking them questions.
I do hate that swerving within your lane claim, though. Like, it's my lane.
Like swerving out of your lane onto like other lanes.
It's my lane. I'll swerve in it if I need to. Thanks.
But my point being, that is an issue. It's a very emotional issue. I was shocked when I heard that passed the House. Shocked. Like, even here in New Hampshire, I didn't think that could happen. But New Hampshire is full of surprises like that. It's full of times where, personal freedom actually wins the day.
That might have a weird strategic thing going on, though. They have to be able to show, or at least they have to be able to not be disshown to have an effectiveness rate in order to keep the constitutionality of them. So they might be wanting to kind of take a break from that for a while to recover it. There are some weird strategic issues with that one.
Could be, but the average state rep is probably not as down on what you're talking about. They're probably not as with it. They're just hearing about the issue, they're hearing about the basics, and they're making a decision on it. And they made the decision to abolish the checkpoints. Again, just the State House, still has to be heard in full by the Senate, but the Senate Justice Committee heard that, or Judiciary Committee last week. So we'll see. But that's my point to rebut what you're saying there, Mark. New Hampshire is not a lefty state. It's not a righty state. It's really a kind of a purple state. It's really a different place.
Right next to a bunch of lefty states, hand-wringers,
no doubt,
super liberals.
And a lot of those people come here.
Stuff rubs off.
That's true. Those people do come here, and
because
that is one of the biggest objections.
This is a societal issue. I'm not talking about them coming here, Ian.
Well, they do.
They do.
Yeah.
But what I'm talking about, this is a societal issue. I'm saying that I am, to some extent, complicit in this because I gotta say my son doing the things that I do, it would be surprising to me. I would be uncomfortable with the notion. I'd have to get comfortable with the notion. Now he doesn't want to go out and there's
why are you like that?
Why am I like that?
Yeah,
because I live in this society.
You've just been brainwashed or something.
People are just that's not what you do.
Huh. Well, and that might also be kind of a thing where you look like you're not scared when you're doing something, and then everybody kind of does it anyway, and so everyone assumes no one else is scared.
Could be that.
Though I don't think that being scared is necessarily something that we can say that parents in the past didn't have. They might have just been doing it anyway because, in their judgment, that was the best thing to do.
Yeah. Could be.
If you are a parent and you want to weigh in, you're welcome to the toll-free numbers 855-450-FREE like Freedom. Utah looking to shore up the rights of parents who actually want to allow their kids to, explore the world without having to have their mom or dad right next to them at all moments. It's Free Talk Live.
I'm Ryan Burke. I'm the head cider maker at Angry Orchard, and we're in Brittany, France. I wanted to make Angry Orchard rosé cider out of my love for rosé wine. We came here and found these red-fleshed apples. It's a really rare fruit. The apple brings a right, refreshing, natural taste to the cider and a deep, nice pink rosé hue. Our rosé is a little bit less sweet. It's got a really nice balance. For any occasion, it's a really refreshing drink.
Angry Orchard Cider Company, Walden, New York. Drink responsibly.
You've heard of Bitcoin Cash, but did you know there's now a Bitcoin Cash wallet? The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Core wallet that allows you to send and receive either currency with anyone, anywhere in the world. The Bitcoin.com wallet supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available for Android, iOS, Windows, Mac, and even Linux. Learn more at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
It's a no-brainer. A Big Berkey water filter is the one you need, period. You need a water filter that removes chlorine, fluoride, pharmaceuticals, BPA, and other endocrine disruptors, pesticides, bacteria, viruses, and much more, right? And does it all at only 2 cents per gallon. Get the original and most trusted name in gravity water filtration, Big Berkey. And now GCN listeners receive 5% off ceramic filter systems using code GCN. Call or click 1-877-99-BERKEY or BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY.
Anytime, any place, anywhere. Radio remains the most intimate of all forms of media. At home, at work, in the car, on smartphones. Over 90% of consumers still listen to radio every week. That makes choosing radio as a place to advertise your business one of the best decisions you can make. Email advertise@gcnlive.com and partner up with an experienced GCN representative. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
The warning signs.
At first, he made me feel special. He promised he'd look after me, provide for my future. He broke every promise he made.
Millions of Americans afflicted.
I was ready to leave, but he told me he'd change. So I gave him another chance. I was such a fool.
The consequences.
Things only got worse. He started making my decisions for me about my job, my kids' education, my money, my safety, my future. He took away my choices, but I kept going back to the same politicians.
The diagnosis? Battered voter syndrome.
I fell for the same old lies. They were just playing with my emotions, telling me what I wanted to hear. That's not right.
If you're tired of the two-party system but want to support a principled Libertarian Party, check out the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire at lpnh.org. That's lpnh.org.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can dial toll-free, and you can take control of the airwaves at 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We've got Skype as well. Skype username is lrn.fm. In the studio tonight, you've got Ian,
Melanie,
and Mark.
And you can join us online. Head over to freetalklive.com and enjoy the features there. Something I want to let you know about is something that a lot of people have been asking for a long time within the Liberty community, and that is a good, easy-to-use, effective website that actually allows you to find out who owns businesses who are libertarians. Which liberty-minded people are out there running businesses? You know that they're out there. You just don't know who they are or where they're at. So liberty.menu is a site that can help you connect with those people. And also, if you are a business owner and you are of a liberty mindset, meaning that you are an individual who rejects the initiation of force and agrees to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle, if you want those people like you to be your customers, then you need to get your business up as soon as possible over at liberty.menu. You go there.
I got to say, people like that are pretty loyal as far as customers go. I mean,
absolutely. And they don't know where you are unless they happen to know you personally. So you need to know to let them know by going to liberty.menu. You can add as many of your businesses. You got more than one because a lot of entrepreneurs, they got 5 plates up in the air that they're spinning all at once. Add all 5 of them to liberty.menu. In fact, you earn points on liberty.menu. It's a gamified system, if you will, where you earn based on what you contribute to the site. So the more content that you can put up there, whether it be your business or local event, you can put events that other liberty-minded folks might be interested in. Also, digital content that you've created. There's categories for all of those over at liberty.menu. It is free to put stuff on the site. It's free to browse the site. So really, there's no reason not to be listed over at liberty.menu. It's also really easy to use, and it looks nice too. Liberty.menu. Plus, if you use code FTL on your profile, you get a special Free Talk Live badge because you're a listener of the show. Liberty.menu. As we continue here, Mark, you were sharing with us the story out of Utah. I don't know if there was more that you thought we should share. If not, we can go on to the Free Range Kids blog for a related story.
It's just basically they go on talking about what free range kids are. Our parents now, our parents would be now called free range for letting us have some ordinary childhood freedoms.
Right.
In fact, Lenore Skenazy, author of Free Range Kids, has been leading activist in protecting parental rights and drawing attention to disturbing examples of government overreach. In her book and her website, she explains that while childhood is much safer now than it was when many of us were kids. Let me repeat that for you, parents. Childhood now is much safer than it was when we were kids. The prevailing attitude is that children are in constant danger and must be continuously watched. Parents increasingly get caught in a government dragnet of child protective services for exercising standard parental judgment.
Yeah. See, this is why, another example of why activism is important. Because as was pointed out here, Lenore Skenazy from Free Range Kids is leading activists to change these things. She's leading parents who thought they were just going to have themselves their normal life of having kids, working their careers, raising their kids, raising their families. Guess what? now you got to be an activist because the government is coming after you, because the government has decided that the thing that you do should be illegal. And this is one of the things that we've pointed out over the years here on Free Talk Live is, yeah, you might think it's easy to go ahead and just live your life the way you want and, hopefully you'll be left alone by the government. But there's no guarantee that they're going to leave you alone. In fact, the longer that you wait, the greater the chances.
To look like an unlikelihood.
The greater the chances they're going to outlaw something that you consider to be normal, that you consider to be harmless. So if you don't stand up for the rights of other people, whether they be the victimless criminal drug user down the street who just wants to get high, or they be somebody else who's running a business without a license or whatever it is that we're talking about here, if you aren't willing to stand up for other people's rights, then you shouldn't be surprised when nobody's willing to stand up for your rights when they finally come after you.
And just from a completely utilitarian standpoint, even if you don't care about the state or other people being oppressed by the state, it might be a good idea to kind of leave yourself like a buffer. So like there's the things you want to do over here. So just kind of, if they're starting to like maybe criminalize some stuff over here, maybe fight against that. That way, like the stuff that you want to do is like way far away from what's being criminalized.
Strategically. The difficulty thing, I think, that is all of us are busy in our lives, right? Yeah. We've got our lives, and we don't want to spend the time on other people's lives. And the news, whenever they report on something, they make that person, whomever they're reporting on, generally look pretty bad. It doesn't look good. Police say,
sure,
Mr. Freeman is a bad man. And
they've said that.
Yeah, they say things like that, and they make it look bad. Well, that's what they're going to do to you. That's what they do. That's what they did to this father that made his son walk like a mile home from school. That's what they did to him. That's what they did to this couple whose kids walked together home from school and walked together to the park and back.
Unfortunately, that's what creates an activist. Those people weren't activists likely before these things happened to them. They all of a sudden stumbled into this situation where the government now all of a sudden is targeting them for something that they thought should have been completely legal and was when they were kids. And they're shocked, they're surprised, they're outraged, and then they want to do something about it. And what I'm suggesting that you do is, if you care about the things that we're talking about, is you do something about it now before it happens to you by doing something, finding some issues where you feel like you can be effective on, where you feel like you are strong and passionate about, and getting involved in those areas. Preferably, if you're a libertarian in New Hampshire, joining the migration of people who are coming here, libertarians and voluntarists and liberty-loving anarchists, free-range parenting types, coming up here and moving their families with them. And doing things to actually make sure that we can push back in the direction of freedom. Because if you don't do anything, then you better believe the busybodies are active. Those people are.
And I mean, most people, I don't think that most people are even just neutral. Most people are not full-time activists, but they're kind of doing some work on the state. So like, if the news getting on TV,
most people are doing some work on the state.
They're not doing any, full-time having
Most people don't even know what the news is, I don't think. Most people don't know that.
The fact that the media can get on TV and say, the police said this bad thing about you. And, now your boss and employer is kind of different because you kind of have to have one of those. Mm-hmm. But the fact that would affect people in your life, and the fact that people in your life would even... I mean, the news could get on the TV tomorrow and say, whoa, the police said Melanie did X. And
somebody's
the only reaction I would get from anybody in my life would be either ignoring it, laughing it, or high-fiving me. Mm-hmm. And that if you're surrounding yourself with people who
I see. We're talking about libertarian activists in New Hampshire. All right. Because wouldn't be how it would be in my life. All right.
If you're kind of contributing to a culture that would put any credence in that, that in and of itself is helping the state.
Yeah.
Reacting to you shouldn't. It should not matter that this, even if the police, said it and you didn't have to trust the media. Oh, they said something negative about you. Well, I have absolutely no reason to believe this.
Sure, you're not going to believe what the police say, no doubt about it. I can understand both sides here. I can understand, hey, who cares what the media says, and the media matters, and they're going to affect opinion. But I think on the other hand, there's this middle group of people who don't pay any attention to the news. Like, they're just so busy with their own lives they don't know anything but except for who Brad and Angelina are dating or whatever, right? Like they pay attention to pop culture, and that's it.
Speaking of news, people get the news that they get. It kind of trickles down. I mean, it happens every once in a while that I'll find somebody who will find out that I do Free Talk Live for a living, and they'll be like, "I thought you guys went to jail." Right?
Well, we did separately.
But, I mean, that's what they think is that the FBI did a raid 2 years ago, confiscated a bunch of equipment from this studio, and there
must have been charges.
We haven't heard hide or hair of anything since then.
But they think there were charges or whatever?
Nothing but nothing. Well, they don't know anything.
Well, that's what the FBI usually does when they do a raid is they arrest everybody there, and most of them go to jail for a long time.
Yeah, that's frequently what happens.
When they do a raid just because they don't like you and they don't have any evidence, they just steal all your computers and you never hear from them again.
I think ignorance and statism is the default for people in America. And it's one of the reasons I don't think that America is particularly a great place to raise your kids or be dealing with this stuff.
Well, that's an interesting opinion. Although, studies show that New Hampshire is the best place in the United States.
Studies by statists who believe the news, yes. I'm not saying that New Hampshire's bad. I'm just saying that let's consider.
I don't know if it's statists who make those studies, Mark. There's different groups that have been out there saying New Hampshire's a really great place, and one of them is because it's a very, very low crime rate. It's a very safe place to raise a family. It's beautiful, and we've got a growing community of liberty-minded people here who actually care about these issues. So that's what I'm saying. If you think you're going to get away with living your life without the police coming in and ruining everything, well, I wish you the best. But don't be surprised if somewhere along that line they go ahead and make something illegal that you like. In this case, raising your kids the way you want illegal. That's what's happening in states like California and New York. So kudos to the Utah government for actually doing something right here. There's more coming up. Hour number 3 is on the way. You can take control of the airwaves. This is Free Talk Live.
It's about time something new came along for better selling and buying online. And I found it.
What now, Marge?
It's buysellmakeoffer.com.
Never heard of it.
It's a brand new company. That's why you've never heard of it. It's the newest and best way to sell any products online. I did all the research.
Sell my car?
Yes.
Our home?
Yep.
My golf bag?
Your golf clubs. All of them.
How about your purse collection hoard?
Hey, now.
You said any product.
Right. I did. We get 30 days free.
Really?
Packages starting from only $9.95. And buysellmakeoffer.com will never charge item fees, ever. Never. And this is cool. Listen to this. You can even use Skype or video to show your items.
That's cool.
Yes. All we have to do is go to the website, sign up, and then load our stuff to sell. I love this site.
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. You got it?
Buysellmakeoffer.com.
Buysellmakeoffer.com. Better selling, better buying.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, April 2nd, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.61 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,335 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $17, and the average price of Bitcoin is $7,012. Antiwar.com reports Israel's violent crackdown on Land Day protests in the Gaza Strip left at least 15 people dead and large numbers of people wounded. There are a lot of expressions of concern, but one thing there won't be is an investigation by anyone. A resolution by the UN Security Council sought to call for such an inquiry and also issue a statement of support for the rights of peaceful protest. The U.S., however, quickly vetoed the bill. This is unsurprising, as the U.S. generally vetoes anything that has to do anything with Israel. U.S. officials so far have refused to comment because clearly vetoing a call to respect human rights and not kill peaceful protesters is something of an embarrassment. There is more than a little disquiet within Israel as well because of the perceived international fallout of the incident. The far-right government, however, went into the protest with every intention of killing protesters, and Defense Minister Avigdor Lieberman has ruled out Israel ever having any internal inquiries on the killings. So there's no possibility of either an international inquiry under UN auspices or a domestic inquiry from within Israel. While non-governmental organizations are likely to offer critical accounts of what happened, this is just the latest in a long line of instances of Israel killing Arabs with impunity. And while it's not necessarily surprising, it could be a very bad thing, not just for international standing, but for popular sentiment within Palestine. The killings drew thousands to the funerals of the slain, and while Israel threatens to kill more next time, the casual use of lethal force against demonstrators has a constant threat of blowback against the Israeli government.
For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. They don't feed the banks. They're Bitcoin preferred and have removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co.
UPI reports California Attorney General Xavier Becerra on Friday issued guidelines for public schools to protect undocumented immigrants on campus from immigration and custom enforcement agents. The guide provides recommendations for how to respond to information requests regarding immigration status, a warrant or court order regarding immigration enforcement, immigration agents requesting access to school grounds, hate crimes related to national origin, and the detention of students' family members. Becerra said in a statement, every student, regardless of immigration status, is entitled to feel safe and secure at school. According to his office, there are approximately 250,000 undocumented immigrant students in California's K-12 school system, and 750,000 students have an undocumented parent. Becerra's guidelines for public schools came one day after he sent guidelines to law enforcement agents across the state on how to follow the state's so-called sanctuary laws included in SB 56, which prohibits local law enforcement from cooperating with federal immigration officials on some matters. Becerra's guidelines come at a time when the state's sanctuary laws have been facing resistance from the Trump administration and the Justice Department, leading to a federal lawsuit challenging the law's constitutionality, as well as an Orange County lawmaker and law enforcement official who have disavowed the laws.
Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 7,500 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed node systems of any cryptocurrency. Zencash is a platform for cryptocurrency and communications built by voluntarists for voluntarists, with the ideas of voluntary interaction being written into the white paper no less than half a dozen times. Learn more at zencash.com.
Reuters reports the U.S. government Supreme Court battle with Microsoft over whether technology companies can be forced to hand over data stored overseas could be nearing its end after federal prosecutors asked for the case to be dismissed. President Trump on March 22nd signed a provision into law making it clear that the U.S. judges can issue warrants for such data while giving companies an avenue to object if the request conflicts with foreign law. In a 16-page court filing on Friday that requested the dismissal, the U.S. Department of Justice said this case is now moot, citing the passage of the new legislation. The Supreme Court on February 22nd heard arguments in the case, which had been one of the most closely watched of the High Court's current term. Some justices urged Congress to pass a law to resolve the matter. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
According to a groundbreaking study on anxiety disorders published this week in the New England Journal of Medicine, researchers have discovered that feelings of anxiety can be completely resolved as long as people think about them real hard.
After studying subjects with mild to chronic anxiety disorders, we found that the best way to overcome mental stress is to isolate the root of the anxiety analyze it from every possible angle, and then think about it nonstop until it completely disappears.
Researchers worked with numerous subjects in the middle of high-stress scenarios and said the key to overcoming anxiety is to start by focusing on a minor problem, list everything that can go wrong in the worst-case scenario, and then repeat that list in your head 200 times. After anywhere between 3 to 6 hours of perpetually torturing yourself over things outside of your control, all feelings of anxiety will completely disappear, and you can finally enjoy the remainder of your day.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. We're launching into the third hour. You, of course, can bring up whatever you want. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Like freedom, 855-450-3733. Joining you tonight, it's Ian.
Melanie.
And Mark.
You can bring up anything that you want. For those of you just tuning in the last hour, we were talking about the good news. A little bit of good news. Every now and then we hear some of it. That the Utah's government has passed a law as of a couple weeks ago, I believe it was, that actually protects parents' rights to allow their kids to grow up on their own, to do things like walk home from school, go to the park without supervision. These are some of the things that the law in Utah is going to protect, and it's of course shocking and sad that
we need a law.
In a state of being in the United States where some people think that we need a law to enshrine those, long-held normal rights, which of course aren't so normal apparently anymore. Now what's normal is to be a helicopter parent floating over your kids at all times and constantly worried about all the bad things that might be lurking out there to get them, even though violent crime and like abductions is down, as I understand it, over time.
Is it down, though, because crime's down, or is it down because our kids are kept off the streets?
I don't know about that.
Violent crime in general tends to go down, so
What do you mean tends to go down?
I'm sure you can find a year in some society where it was higher than the year before.
Usually it surrounds wars. Violent crime tends to go up when wars occur.
And we're always at war, so that's still a baseline for us, but it's going down.
Yeah, it's going down over time, but if you can find in the relatively recent past that it was lower than it is now. And I suspect that the chickens are coming home to roost when it comes to Iraq, Afghanistan. You put young men and women out in these situations where their job is to solve their problems with weapons. Then you bring them home, and then you tell them, no, you can't solve your problems with weapons. And plus, a good portion of them have PTSD. And there's all kinds of problems with that.
So you had, since we were talking about parenting, Mark, you had a story, an opinion piece, perhaps, written by somebody who has some words for parents about they're mad their kids are looking at them or something like that. I haven't read the story, so I don't know.
Yeah, this is BuzzFeed clickbait.
Okay.
And
what's the headline?
A letter to parents. It doesn't say an open letter, but it's an open letter. A letter to parents whose children stare at me in public. Or how to talk to your kids about gender nonconforming people. Yeah. So this is by Jacob Tobia. I hope I've got that right. But I don't think Jacob is the person who's the story who wrote the story. If so, then the picture that he has in the little circle is a lot better than the rest of the pictures in here because it just looks like a normal guy in a suit, and the rest of these not so much. So, dear parents of America or anywhere else, as gender nonconforming person, I get a lot of attention, both wanted and unwanted. If you got to see a picture of this person, if they unwanted attention and this person just don't go together. Clearly, you
You're not blending
want
in.
attention.
Yeah.
Okay? You may not like the attention you get, but if somebody sent you a bedazzled T-shirt, that form-fitting T-shirt that said "Attention Whore," you'd rip everything you had off on and just throw it on, right? Like, this is an attention whore of the whoriest of whores.
You see, people for some reason have still not figured out that you can't pick and choose the attention that you get.
Yeah.
You can either put out for attention or not.
Yes.
And they think they can still pick and choose for some reason.
Right. He may or may not be an activist for, gender nonconforming rights, but I hate that he uses the term trans. Okay? So Now, admittedly, I'm not the most schooled person on this issue, but to me, what a trans person is a trans person who feels within themselves some, I think it's called gender dysphoria. Are you looking at the pictures?
Yeah, I just pulled up the pictures.
He's a Jim.
But if his name is Jacob and he refers to himself as a man several times in the article,
not sure what
so that
goes
would
on.
make him not trans, though.
He's wearing like watermelon spandex.
Yeah, if he wants me to refer to him to something other than he's going to need to shave. All right, that's first.
He's got
one.
like boots that go all the way up to basically the mid portion of his thighs.
Yeah.
And then underneath that is watermelon spandex, like with pictures of watermelons and strawberries
and
on
a
it.
electric blue jacket with a jade.
That's way too small for him.
This person is not attempting to look like a man nor a woman. And to make my point again, a trans person is attempting to go from one gender to another. So a trans man was at one time a woman and is now a man, and a trans woman was one time a man and is now a woman. These people largely want to be left alone. They want to transition. They want to keep their rights. They want the rights to be the way they are. They want to keep their job. They want to be largely left alone. They want to be treated like the new gender. That's what they're looking for. This is an attention whore and shouldn't be using any similar terminology.
I'm not an attention whore. I'm not an attention whore.
Right, just like that. Now, there is a counter argument. Gay rights were largely pushed by the drag queens. Okay? And so I can maybe in 5 years you might convince me I was wrong on this. But nonetheless, I just love hearing this person complain about the sort of attention that he gets. So going on here,
From children, by the way, not from adults.
Well, he wants adults to act a certain way, too. But, yeah, it ranges from people laughing at me, verbally assaulting me, or taking my picture
Verbal assault, that's the thing now.
Yeah, that's being insulting. Taking my picture without my consent, or people stopping me mid-strut to exclaim, "Oh, my God, I love your outfit." Okay, this person just complained about somebody stopping him mid-stride, as though, if his foot was on the ground or something, that it would make a difference, to say that I love your outfit. Where did you get your lipstick? Okay?
Sorry, I was laughing at I hadn't actually seen the first picture here.
Yeah.
I'd scrolled down.
All of them.
The pictures hadn't loaded yet, so I went to the first one that had loaded. And look, by no means am I a fashionista, right? Like, I don't care. I don't care what you wear, by all means. But yeah, you're going to get some attention walking around in cowboy boots, naked legs, so nothing on his legs.
Hairy naked legs.
Yeah, hairy naked legs.
There's hair.
And then basically dressed as a teacher from that point forward.
Sort of a blue polka dotted dress and a pink blazer, over top of it. And I don't think there's a single picture of this gentleman where he's not bedazzled with like brooches and jewelry and these sorts of things.
Yeah.
The lipstick is always gaudy as it could possibly be and outrageous. But one type of attention stands out from the rest. The attention of confused children. I first started noticing it when I moved to New York City at age 22. Now, I don't know when that was, but okay. I'm sure he at one point was 22.
Yeah.
Children would see me on the subway sporting my beard and lipstick and wouldn't quite know how to react. They'd wear their confusion, marvel, or pleasant surprise at my gender expression blatantly on their sleeves. My gender expression. My attention whoring. Children are anything but subtle about their interest when it's piqued. At least he doesn't blame the kids for being interested in the fact that he wears outfits that are intended to get their interest. I was reminded of this attention the other weekend when I traveled from Los Angeles to Florida for a queer conference at the Orlando Hilton Resort. Half of the hotel was filled with queers trying to learn how to better serve trans youth. As far as I'm concerned, that's a great thing. The other half was filled with nuclear families who'd come to Orlando to meet Minnie and Elsa and Goofy at Disney World. It made for an interesting combination.
I bet.
After my keynote speech, sporting a bold purple lipstick, swim trunks, and a bathrobe.
So this guy, gal, whatever, is...
I don't think he makes that avocation, but all right.
He's claiming to be queer. He's claiming to be gender bender or whatever, right?
Queer does not mean... No, he's interested in trans activism, but doesn't say...
He's not, he's not owning
he
that
refers
he's
to
trans.
himself as a man several times in this article.
Does he? Will you look at that just to make sure? Because I have... It passes by me.
I don't have it pulled up.
Ordinary
I don't know where
pronouns just, don't stand out to me, right?
This guy's got to be a big deal, right? If he's keynoting
something.
Yeah.
Keynoting a queer convention
Right.
for trans helping. Who knows how many people are there? I don't know. It's Orlando, so it could be a big convention.
It's probably big. If you're renting a hotel room out, you probably. I mean, I guess it. Yeah, Orlando hotel rentals are probably going to be on the larger side. Would be my guess.
I made my way to the hotel's lazy river, and that's when I noticed the familiar eyes following me. The kids were back at it.
All right.
Blatantly staring at me to their heart's content. He's eye candy. I mean, it just come like these thigh-high velour boots. Come on.
All right, we got more coming up here. He's got opinions to share, and you might have some too. If you want to share them with us, you're welcome to. Free Talk Live.
From the second letter of Captain Mark. Any pirate knows that commerce is communication. Markets condense oceans of information into a single price. Innovations in communication are circumventing the scrutiny of the crown. This signals a change in the coin of the realm. The crown uses digital currency to surveil, censor, seize, and destroy wealth at will, so pirate currency must protect us from this weaponized money. We need to move funds further, faster, cheaper, and without third-party observation, basing decisions on an accelerating flow of information. So pirates require nearly instantaneous transactions with no arbitrary limits on volume or artificial influences on fees. Most importantly, a pirate currency must preclude centralization. Otherwise, it will become another link in our chain to the crown. A superior currency will result in the obsolescence of the coin of the realm and the extinction of the crown itself. Trade above the grid. Join us at pirateswithoutborders.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Core wallet that allows you to send and receive either currency with anyone, anywhere in the world. The Bitcoin.com wallet supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. Download the Bitcoin.com wallet for easy and secure access to your Bitcoin Core and your Bitcoin Cash. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available for Android, iOS, Windows, Mac, and even Linux. Learn more at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com. Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 7,500 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed node systems of any cryptocurrency. Zencash is a platform for cryptocurrency and communications built by voluntarists for voluntarists, with the ideas of voluntary interaction being written into the white paper no less than half a dozen times. Learn more at Zencash.com. That's Zencash.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want here. The toll-free number is 855-450. Free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We're talking about a guy who wrote an article at BuzzFeed about children noticing his peculiar method of dress and trying to give parents advice on how to handle that. Because he always notices that people are noticing him, specifically children in this particular case. He is somebody who was born a man, clearly, who is dressing like a woman, although you guys have been scouring over the text here trying to figure out what this person kind of defines himself or herself as.
Favorite pronoun is?
And as I said, well, it definitely appears as though he is a cross-dresser. He is somebody who is wearing clothes that are atypical.
I like that term because this isn't a trans person, right? This is a person who's not making any attempt to be a woman. He's just a man, clearly a man wearing women's clothing.
So I have done a little digging as well. I looked up Jacob Tobia. Turns out there's a Wikipedia article about him, which says that he is an American LGBTQ rights activist, feminist writer, and co-producer for MSNBC's television series Queer 2.0. Then, down at the bottom here, under personal life, it says Tobia is genderqueer and uses singular they pronouns.
Okay.
So when you go and look up genderqueer, which is one word, according to Wikipedia, also termed non-binary, is a catch-all category for gender identities that are not exclusively masculine or feminine, identities which are outside of the gender binary, and cisnormativity.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. Genderqueer people.
Cisnormativity is just.
Cis means not trans.
Yeah. Just, you don't have time for this crap. You're cis.
Genderqueer people may express a combination of masculinity and femininity, or neither, in their gender expression.
Right.
So there you go. That's how he defines himself is genderqueer, meaning he's both.
Yeah.
Or neither.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, it just seems like pick one. That's what I gotta have here.
Well, he's saying
Yeah. Right. Well, do what you want, but expect kids to look at you. This is the thing. Like the previous statement is that right here. That's when I noticed the familiar eyes following me. The kids were back at it, blatantly staring at me to their heart's content. They'd never seen someone like me back home in Michigan, Spokane, or Wichita. Is that an insult to the people in Spokane and Wichita? I don't know. Some kids gawked quietly. Others startled in fright. Some giggled in a curious, empathetic way. Now, I'm not sure if this person is upset about the attention or, because the gawking, terms like this, makes me wonder.
They do not seem to be upset about the attention. They seem to be upset about not getting even more attention.
Yeah, they seem to be what later on what it appears to be is that they, and that's what he wants you to do is to say they. Okay, fine. They want you. That doesn't even make any sense. Anyway, this person wants you to have a conversation with your kid as though you're on your way to go see Elsa and Minnie Mouse, and let's step down and have ourselves a genderqueer conversation, Johnny. See this fellow over here that's dressed in women's clothing? Let's whoa, stop everything. Let's talk about this man's blue lipstick.
I mean, and maybe you have had these conversations with your kid, but you're not going to have them like on demand by people passing by.
Yeah. And it certainly isn't going to be the conversation you want them to have. Look,
he wants to be used as a conversation piece, a tool for
in the 1980s,
education.
I had myself a big old mohawk that I'd stick up in the air with Aquanet, and I wore eyeliner and a trench coat, and the combat boots with the little spikes on them and the leather jacket.
Picturing that. That just doesn't make
sense. There's a picture somewhere of him with the mohawk. I don't think the coat or anything.
I can find some more if you desperately need to see these things.
I really don't, but it doesn't compute in my mind.
Come on, admit it. You do want to see
and
it.
I would be upset at times.
It's pretty funny.
When people would, at the mall. I'd go to the mall dressed like this and then be upset that people would talk about the way I was dressed.
Would they do it to your face?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Son, don't dress to get attention if you don't want attention.
Wait. That's what somebody said to you?
No, that's what I'm saying to me at 17 years old.
What was said to you?
all kinds of things were said to me.
Was it only by your peer group? Was
things
it by
like that.
contemporaries or
mostly? High school age kids would have things to say. But I remember, I remember hearing some rednecks talking and saying something to the effect of, why they do that, because they're mad at their parents.
And you might have been.
I don't know why I would have any particular reason to be mad at my parents, but I'm certain that other people were mad at their parents.
Yeah.
I think it just, to me it was artistic or whatever. I liked it, but it didn't strike people the same way. It doesn't. You can dress to get attention, or you can dress not to get attention, but you can't dress and get the attention you want to get, right? Like somebody's always going to have something to say.
Sure, everybody's got an opinion.
If you're in an attention-getting outfit, some will give you the attention you want, and some will give you the attention you don't. This person seems to be unhappy with all of it. Somebody says, "Hey, I love your dress," upset. I guess. I mean, that's the way the article's written, at least. Anyway, but
I don't know. Anyway, go on and hear what else he has to say.
But the most common reaction was that that your children, upon noticing my gender expression, turned to you and exclaimed something like, "Mommy, that boy's wearing lipstick," or "Look, Dad, look what he's wearing." After your kids called your attention to my gender expression, all you did pretty much, you all did pretty much the same thing. You looked my way, made eye contact with me, became shiftily embarrassed yourselves, and told your kids told your kids that it's not nice to talk about strangers.
I mean, is that not true though? Like, this is like you're not really supposed to, by cultural norms, use other people's clothing as introductions to political, social conversations. And since they haven't told you that was okay, as far as you know, it's still not okay. Like, that's the part that doesn't really, like, they want to be accepted as normal, but also be an intro to conversations, and you would only be having a conversation if something wasn't normal. This doesn't make sense.
So one of the things that you said, that I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, is in a normal circumstance, as a parent, you are on the safe side to presume that the person who's in front of you doesn't want to be the subject of a conversation.
Right.
That they don't necessarily share the opinion. That not everybody who is queer or everybody who is gender neutral or everybody who is whatever the different terms are, not everybody who might subscribe to that same belief system or whatever you want to call it is going to have the same opinion about how parents should handle this. Should they stop down right then and have a chat with their kids there in the the hallway at the hotel where he's at with this queer conference that he was attending, or should they talk to them later on in the room, or when they're alone about that they may not want to have that kind of attention.
I would have to make guesses about somebody. Like, I don't know if you're trans and just can't pass.
It's Disney World. Maybe he's the help.
Yeah, if you're a they, like, so I would have to sit there and guess to my kids whether you're trans.
I know what I would say.
Like,
I'd tell Jack, go talk to him about it. Because I do this all the time. I remember one time in the airport, he saw a man with one leg. And he said something to me, and I'm like, well, you want to go talk to him about it? Let's go talk to him about it.
I saw a dog with 3 legs when I was down in Austin.
You can't talk to the dog, Ian.
No, but I just love seeing a tripod dog because they're so cool.
Yeah.
Toll-free number here tonight.
That's weird. They don't want to be missing a leg.
855-450-FREE.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Looking for that edge during those intimate moments? We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
You can't win if you don't enter, and you actually can improve your chances of winning a prize drawing if you wrinkle up your entry blank. I'm Holland Cook from survivalspeech.com, and I speak from experience. Why this works: if they'll be spinning the drum before drawing, your entry blank will move around more than, and not adhere to, other perfectly flat entry blanks. And if they don't spin the drum and merely reach into a box full of other perfectly flat entry blanks, many of which are sticking together, yours will feel different to the person reaching in. When you win, act surprised. And if you're looking for work, this is a metaphor. For more tips on sticking out in a world where just too much blends into the blah, 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 hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. Dial toll free. Join us here. Our number 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. One they has an opinion here. That's what this person calls themselves, which is very strange, as you were pointing out earlier. That always bugged me as a kid when people would say, and it wasn't, people wouldn't say it in school because they were concerned about the gender of the people. They would just say it, the word they, as a generic term for somebody. And I never really understood that, because they always was a group of people. It was never an individual.
Well, I would always, even before any of this, I would always use they as because there's no gender neutral plural second person pronoun in English. And so I use they for that. It fits.
So in this case, this person is upset at parents and how they've been handling seeing him when they have their children with them at places like hotels. He was recently at a queer conference in Orlando. And Mark, you're going to continue the story here in moments. Also, I do want to let you know that coming up this summer in the beautiful White Mountains of New Hampshire at Rogers Campground, it is Fork Fest 2018, June 14th through the 18th. What is it? Well, we don't really exactly know. Because it's decentralized. We can tell you that it's going to involve camping for a lot of people, although there is a motel you can stay in. It could involve RV sites as well, so there's RV sites for people that have those. And so that's definitely going to be involved. So so far, there have been some announcements of things that are going to be happening, like Jay Noon's getting married there. He's one of our former co-hosts here on Free Talk Live. There's going to be some athletic events that Daryl's going to be putting together. Daryl's throwing a party. So far, those are the three things I'm aware of, but that doesn't mean that there aren't other things that are being cooked up as we speak, because ForkFest is a decentralized libertarian camping event, meaning nobody's in charge, meaning there is no central control, there's no central authority. There is, of course, the park owners, so Rogers Campground has whatever rules they have, but as far as the event, there's no ticket because there's no organization. There's nobody to, if somebody tries to charge you for a ticket, you might be getting scammed because there is no central organization. Even though there's a website, that's just something that somebody put online. Anybody can put whatever they want online for ForkFest. In this case, the website is forkfest.party. That will link you over to some of the community resources like the ForkFest forum and the ForkFest Telegram chat and the ForkFest Discord chats as well, where you can go and discuss what might be happening, what you want to create. Because if there's something that you want to see happening at this libertarian camping event, then you pretty much have to create it at this point. Otherwise, just enjoy camping with other liberty-minded people in the beautiful White Mountains of New Hampshire. It will be fantastic just on that aspect alone. But what else will people create? It remains to be seen, because we're still about 3 months out, a little bit less than that, 2.5 months. It's going to come up fast, though, so mark your calendar and start planning now, regardless of what's been announced for it. Go to forkfest.party to learn more about it. It was small last year. Last year was its first year, maybe a couple dozen people in the whole campground hanging out. And this year, we don't know what to expect. We have no idea. So go to forkfest.party. And what's the forking all about? Well, fork is the idea of a split, is the idea of a movement going off in different directions. And it's a natural thing. It's something that happens. And I think ForkFest is the embracing of that. So once again, that's forkfest.party. It's going to be June 14th through the 18th, coming up this summer at Rogers Campground in New Hampshire. As we continue here, Mark, you've got more from this story, this editorial piece by this queer
activist.
He's described himself
Genderqueer.
as Genderqueer. That's what it was. We go, though, first to David. He's in New Mexico. David, you're on free. Actually, hang on one second here, David. I actually need to bring that line up. Okay, yeah, David, you're on Free Talk Live in New Mexico. Go ahead.
Hey, on the stuff you've been talking about, first, fun stuff first. Speaking of black eyeliner, Mark answered your question. You posed a question rhetorically, probably, but let me actually answer it. Has anybody ever been fooled by that expression, sausage party? And I wasn't really fooled by it, but I was stumped by it for a second. The first time I ever heard that term, but I heard it in the form sausage fest. I had no better opportunity, so I was driving a cab in Albuquerque about 10 years ago, and I picked up some guys. I think it was 3 guys that jumped in the back, and there might have been 4. Might have been a guy in the front. I don't remember. And we started talking, and they're a band, and they gave me a band name, and I don't know if it was a made up name or if it was a real side project or whatever. But after a while, it dawned on me that this guy that I was talking to, the main dude that was talking to me, it was Dave Navarro, and he was telling me about the performance they were doing and what kind of crowd they were getting, whatever. And he said it was a real sausage fest, and I'm like, huh, what? And then before he could explain it, it dawned on me what he's talking about. But
this was the guy from, wasn't he in Nirvana or Foo Fighters?
Jane's Addiction, wasn't it?
Shows what I know.
That's not Jane's. Dave Navarro isn't Jane's Addiction. That's shoot. Yeah,
Perry. What's his name?
Perry. Yeah, I can't remember what the last of it is, but yeah.
Dave Navarro, known for Red Hot Chili Peppers. There you go. Jane's Addiction. He was in Jane's Addiction.
Yeah, I think he was guitar for him, bro. Yeah, and he dated Carmen Electra, probably the.
You really shouldn't call here with entertainment topics, because I don't know who Carmen Electra is either.
She's a foxy lady.
Well, yeah, that's what I recall. That.
Yeah. Everybody else does, so no
there
problem.
You go.
Yeah, good for them. They probably do.
Yeah, you're talking about your Utah law. I'm all for that, and just kind of hodgepodge here. Busybodies. There's busybodies everywhere, and the police are probably less interested in enforcing stupid stuff than They just do what they're told. I mean, there's some problems there too, but on stuff like this, they probably have little interest in getting involved, but they're pushed by enforcing whatever they got to enforce. They got to do it.
They don't have to, though. That's the thing. And David, thanks for the call tonight. The police at any time can use their discretion. Unless there's some sort of felony being committed in front of them, there's certain circumstances where they're not allowed to use discretion, as I understand it.
The only statute I've ever seen that removed their discretion was domestic violence calls.
Where they have to arrest somebody in those states?
So they can use their discretion in some cases for murder, but not for domestic violence.
Well, I mean,
so police could, if they were called to blame this on, look, the police need to accept the blame for whenever they've been involved in these things, because any cop that's called to a scene of a kid at a park without their parents can go up to the kid and say, "Hello, son, do your parents know you're here?" And then he can go, "Yep, my parents know I'm here," and then he could be like, "Well, have a nice day." And then walk away.
They could, but you're asking them, in many cases, you're probably talking about somebody who's in their late 20s or something, early 30s. You're asking them to take a stand on child rearing. And I don't think they necessarily know. They don't get any kind of training on this. There isn't any guidance from the law.
If they make an arrest, they're taking a stand.
Yeah, that's taking a position. So the appropriate thing to do is say, "That's not a crime. Have a good day.
Right.
Goodbye. Click."
I'm moving along.
These are people that deal with crime day in and day out. In their world, crime happens all of the time, and it's full of dangerous people. They are the worst possible people to be deciding whether or not you should be allowed to let your kids wander around a perfectly safe middle-class neighborhood.
They're also not who you should call if you see a kid alone in the park, because they're liable to, I don't know, roll up on them and shoot them to death before they fully exit the vehicle.
Right. Like happened with, was it Tamir Rice?
Tamir Rice, yeah.
And I think it was Ohio.
Tamir Rice did have a BB gun in a local, like a park.
So? We went over that case.
I know.
And
Look,
the cops
I got a BB
did
gun.
exactly what she said. They blasted that kid to death
before they got out of the car.
And he never did anything to threaten anybody in front of those police.
In front of those police. The claim
all
was,
the cops know is somebody called the cops
saying that Tamir Rice was pointing a gun at people, and BB guns can look very, very realistic.
He didn't say anybody shot anybody. There was no evidence that Tamir did anything to anybody.
Didn't. I'm just saying it could be a better, it wasn't a neon green Nerf gun. You know what I mean?
The toll-free number tonight is 855-450-FREE. We got enough time for you. If you get on the lines right now, we might be able to get you in here. Of course, the phones are blowing up now in the final segment of the program. The toll-free number, 855-450-3733. You can take control of the airwaves here. This is Free Talk Live. You can also call us on the Discord on-air call-in line room. Go to discord.lrn.fm or jump on Skype like David there. And the Skype username is lrn.fm.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Core wallet that allows you to send and receive either currency with anyone, anywhere in the world. Download the Bitcoin.com wallet for easy and secure access to your Bitcoin Cash. It's perfect for beginners, and the Bitcoin.com wallet makes using and holding Bitcoins easy. No logins are required. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available for Android, iOS, Windows, Mac, and even Linux. Learn more at Bitcoin.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
I tried other brands, but I came back to my Sunshine.
For the best hot or cold pain relief, get the best. Get a Sunny Bay heating pad.
Sometimes life can be a pain in the neck or back or shoulder.
And the best relief for that pain is a Sunny Bay heating pad. Did you know that the American College of Physicians said that one of the best ways to treat muscle pain is heat therapy? Sunny Bay heating pads are handmade with high quality, can be used at home or at work, and have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy.
Why take another pill?
Many people use our Sunny Bay heating pads alone and got rid of the neck pain.
Long distance travel or long hours in front of a computer can take its toll on your body.
See why our homegrown small business at sunny-bay.com has tried to help people just like you. Get your Sunny Bay heating pads at sunny-bay.com. That's sunny-bay.com or call 253-678-1361 for hot and cold therapy. sunny-bay.com.
Free Talk Live.
Oh, if only everyone were to behave in the way I think they should behave, humanity would be better off. Again, it's just trying to impose one's vision on others. You can't be humane to others by being inhumane in the first place. And by forcing them to behave or do things that you want them to do or think in the way that you want them to think, that's inhumane. You're not respecting their choices as a free, sovereign individual. And that's what liberty is all about. You respect the rights of others to live their lives, even in self-destructive ways that you think are a bad choice, so that in turn, you have the right to live your life in any way that you choose. That's what it's all about. And as soon as you violate that, as soon as you take a step into the world of initiating force on others, then anything's game. You validated that it's okay to use force to get your way as far as changing other people's behavior.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
It is Free Talk Live, and you can bring up anything that you want, even in these remaining moments here. We got enough time for you. If you dial in now, toll free to 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And saveatpurse.com is where you can go to save big time on your purchases at Amazon. Although one of the gentlemen in the Discord chat is saying he's been having some trouble with one of the purchases on Purse, and as I pointed out, sometimes that happens. You're dealing with anonymous people on the internet who want to buy Bitcoin, and sometimes there's, they're coming from different countries in the world. They may not be the best at speaking English. Sometimes they might be an attempted scam artist. So, I mean, if you're going to get 20 to 30% off of a product, every now and then there's going to be some bumps in the road. And we've been using Purse for a few years now. I think 3 solid years here on Free Talk Live, and I've been very, very successful with it. Everything I would have bought on Amazon, basically, I've bought through Purse, with very few exceptions over the last 3 years, and have saved usually 20, 25%. That's my typical what I go for, unless there's something I really don't need anytime soon, in which case then I'll set it 33% and just forget about it and wait and see if somebody snaps it up. You can save these, big savings. The catch is you have to have Bitcoin in order to do it. But part of the process is every now and then somebody's going to buy the item but then cancel. So it'll look like the thing's going to get shipped to you, but then it doesn't. Or in the case that one of our listeners is dealing with, apparently somebody who misunderstood somehow bought like 1 out of 2 items, or for some sort of mishap happened where only 1 out of 2 items got shipped. And as he pointed out, in the instances where he's needed to get Purse support, their support division involved, they've been very helpful and they've resolved things to his satisfaction. So, and I found that to be the case as well. Purse's support is very, very good at taking care of people, as long as you're not a scam artist or something like that. But yeah, if you're going to be getting 20 to 30% off, every now and then there might be somebody on there that's annoying. There might be somebody on there that cancels the order halfway through or something like that. And then that means your order gets returned to the book, and then it gets put back out there for somebody else to pick up. So if you're in a hurry, you don't want something like that happening, right? Like if there's something you want quickly, somebody acts like they're going to buy it, they take it through halfway through the process, it looks like they're buying it, and then all of a sudden it gets returned back. That might have taken 2 days for that to happen. So if you're in a hurry, you probably don't want to use SaveItPurse.com. Although there are instant purchasing options through Save It Purse where you can save 5%. Generally, if you need something instant, probably should just go through Amazon. But if you don't mind waiting for a little bit and you've got the patience to deal with the occasional snafu, then you can save 20, 30, 25%. And that's amazing. And it's real. So go and try it for yourself. Save It Purse, SaveAtPurse.com. Once again, SaveAtPurse.com as we go to your phone calls and thoughts here. First up, Jim is in the Bronx watching us on Twitch at twitch.lrn.fm. Hello, Jim.
Hey, I had a question from Mark today.
Yes, sir.
Why do you look homeless, pal? You look a bum off the streets.
Well, I'm not at home.
Now, why do you say he looks homeless? I mean, obviously you're watching the cam.
Look at him. He's got the freaking jean jacket, that shitty old hat.
Okay, you can't say that. I think you would have learned the lesson by now, but you can make fun of Mark or me or whoever, but you just can't say the S word.
Yeah, I don't think it's a jean
jacket. It might help if you had like a topic too, not just like feeling really strongly about Mark's clothes enough to actually make that phone call and for no other reason.
Either, yeah. So he's right and wrong. So in one case, the hat is distressed. Like he called it.
It's old. It's an old hat.
It's not that old.
Isn't that a decade old?
No. These are the hats that we got.
Is that new stock?
This is relatively new stock.
Oh.
This is maybe a 1 or 2 year old hat, and it probably hasn't been worn 50 or 60 times.
Okay, but does it still work? Then there's no reason to get rid of it.
But it's distressed. It's by its nature made to look like an older hat. Now, in truth, I wore the hat because I didn't, I didn't comb my hair, so it was just easier.
Fair enough. And that is not a jean jacket. That is an old salty dog
blue
sweater or something like that.
Yeah, it's a
jacket
pullover.
Sweater.
Yeah,
That's are they still around, Old Salty Dog? They still out there?
I haven't been out there.
The Key?
No, I don't know.
It's a restaurant out where we used to work.
Yeah, where we used
Florida.
to work. We used to work in Sarasota, the radio station at the end of City Island. There were 2 restaurants there. The Old Salty Dog was one, where you could go and get like fish and chips, hot dogs, things like that. The other one was the Bait Shop. And I can tell you, I just loved saying, I'm going to go down and get lunch at the Bait Shop. Because it's a funny thing to say.
All right, so let's go back to your calls here and thoughts. First up, it's Gerald. He's in Jersey City. Gerald, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, how you doing, folks?
Hey, you're on the air.
You guys were talking about forking earlier, like bringing the movement out to different parts.
Yeah, they're usually, whatever the movement happens to be. It can be a religion, it can be, a group of activists or whatever. But the larger a group gets, usually it's like 20, 30 is when things start to fracture.
Well, I'm actually a reverend down here at the Archdiocese of St. Peter.
I bet you
over
are.
Here in Jersey City. And I think you guys probably would want to branch out and maybe get the station to come down here one day. I don't know if we could set that up offline. But I just wanted to say a prayer for you guys real quick. I don't know if you guys are okay if I lead you through a quick prayer.
Sure, if it's quick. Go ahead. I want to hear this.
As long as it's funny.
If you want to be free, you got to let the Lord into your soul. You got to let Jesus inside of you if you want to be free. Can you say his name? Jesus Christ, amen.
He's got passion. I'll give him that. Thanks for the call tonight.
That didn't sound like a prayer. That sounded like a sermon. Those are different.
Let's continue here. We got David. He's in San Francisco. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, David.
Yeah, man, I tell you, you've got some callers today. Is this the Free Talk Live Fashion Emporium? And then I was at the yesterday, of course, was St. Stupid's Day. So I'm not sure if that guy could have gotten a good sermon gig at the St. Stupid's Day parade yesterday.
St. Stupid's Day? Is there another name for April Fool's Day?
Well, yeah. Let's see. It's the Church of the Last Laugh, or the let's see. What's the other name of it? St. Stupid's Day. It's Bishop Joey is the.
This is new to me. I don't know. Church of the Last Laugh. SaintStupid.com. So tell me more about this. Is this an old religion? It says here they're the world's oldest religion and the world's largest church.
Why not?
I wish I could get my my camera to spit loose onto Facebook, because the Bishop Joey does quite a rant about how it's the newest religion with the and he does a whole speed rap about it. It's pretty good. Hey, well, what I wanted to talk about, you aware of the Sinclair media? They're trying to buy up. I think they're going to, if they're allowed to do a media buy-up of TV stations, they would have, I think, 200 stations nationwide, and they would have one-third of America's viewers. And if you look at the directorship of Sinclair Media, they're actually like military intelligence people. And, the Constitution is pretty clear about that there is not supposed to be a propaganda wing of America, that we're supposed to be, free souls who are able to think for ourselves, and that we don't need any propaganda minister to tell us what to think. And the idea that there was a piece that came out on social media the other day about, I think CNN ran a great deal of it, where the hosts, I think currently they have about 40 stations, and all of these hosts are reading this piece about how they're supposed to be independent-minded and that they're not spouting fake news. And the guy that put it together does this huge screen of every one of them saying exactly the same word.
Yeah, I remember seeing clips like that on YouTube when, remember when gravitas was,
Gravitas is probably got to be the most famous, and it's Rush Limbaugh put that together. I
doubt it was Rush Limbaugh who put it together. He probably had people who put it together.
Okay, fine. Rush Limbaugh's team put it together.
Rush Limbaugh's probably never edited a video clip in his entire life.
Actually, it was audio was what Gravitas was, and then they edited later.
Okay, because I've seen the video clips of what he's talking about. And David, thank you for the call tonight, bringing up the sort of monolithic mainstream media out there that appears to be like they're different channels, but they tend to have the same narrative. And there's something to that, I would say.
There's something.
And then on the other hand, you get the other propaganda from like NPR, which of course is very pro-government, and of course the corporate media is also very pro-government. And gee, what do you know? When the government has the control over licensing, turns out the licensed entities don't really want to take the government to task real hard in a lot of cases. So blame the FCC. If you want to have a more diverse media landscape, abolish the FCC and let anybody who wants to put a transmitter on the air. And that would solve that problem. Unfortunately, nobody's going to propose that.
Nope.
So we'll see you tomorrow night online. In the meantime, you can join us over at freetalklive.com. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
The three most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share one episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network, LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, April 2nd, 2018. Silver is trading at $16.61 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,335 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $17, and the average price of Bitcoin is $7,012. Antiwar.com reports Israel's violent crackdown on Land Day protests in the Gaza Strip left at least 15 people dead and large numbers of people wounded. There are a lot of expressions of concern, but one thing there won't be is an investigation by anyone. A resolution by the UN Security Council sought to call for such an inquiry and also issue a statement of support for the rights of peaceful protest. The U.S., however, quickly vetoed